is Purple Daily, and thanks to everyone for showing up here, ready for the Vikings to do hell knows what. We're not quite sure yet.
The Minnesota Vikings select wide receiver Jordan Addison!
This is a for sure win in week 1, right? You have all off season to prepare. If you're in that locker room now, Justin Jefferson was sitting on the sidelines just with a blank look on his face as the time counted down.
Producer Ross, why are you a Vikings fan?
Well, the pain lets me know that I'm still alive, Jesse.
So the Vikings should be 2-0, right? We all know that. I mean, they've shot themselves in the foot. These turnovers were ridiculous.
He called it a what?
A playoff game. It has a playoff game feel.
Yeah, that's what an 0-3 versus 0-3 is, a playoff feel?
I would just say, I'll just throw the first take out. Harrison Smith with one of the best games of his career today.
Yes, you know
Harrison
what?
Smith was incredible today, Jeff.
Vikings get on the board for the second time this season. They are 2-4, and I would say half the fan base is thrilled and the other half is pissed. The Minnesota Vikings just put together perhaps their biggest win in the Kevin O'Connell era.
By far the most fun I've had watching a Vikings game since the Bills game last year.
Vikings victory in Lambeau Field today. The Vikings have officially completed the trek back to 500.
Just same as you guys. I'm just kind of numb right now. It's unfortunate. I mean, to handle the Packers in Lambeau like this and everyone just feel like this, just gut checked. It's unfortunate.
The Vikings having their best and biggest offensive output in terms of points on the season with an emergency fourth-string quarterback and Jaron Hall. Kevin O'Connell is building something really interesting inside that locker room, and it manifested with Josh Dobbs coming in, not knowing anyone's name, and leading the Vikings to a victory in that fourth quarter, right? Kind of feels like there's a little bit of people felt devastated and are still sad for Kirk, and win one for Kirk.
I thought it was a physical game. I just can't believe they lost to Denver.
Hey guys, let me just lay into KOC here. And Sports Dad kind of took the word right out of my mouth. Incompetent. The most incompetent last 3 minutes of a football game I've ever seen.
After just a putrid loss to the Chicago Bears in front of a national audience.
I mean, that's one of the worst football games I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of bad football games.
Vikings win 3-0. The Vikings just blew a 14-point lead in the second half of the Cincinnati Bengals.
KOC, this loss is firmly on him.
The Vikings lose this game to the Detroit Lions, who clinched their first division title in 30 years.
One of the worst Packer-Viking losses, in a while.
This is the Vikings' most disappointing home record since they moved indoors into the Metrodome.
But we want to turn this discussion forward.
The Vikings are no longer in a competitive rebuild. They have to admit this is a full-on rebuild.
Kirk Cousins, according to his agent, Mike McCartney on Twitter, has agreed to a 4-year contract with the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL Draft has become our favorite event on the Purple Daily calendar.
I can just feel the quarterback drafting anxiety in the room, right?
This year's draft is shaping up to be one of the biggest and most important ones in Vikings history.
Football.
If they decided Michael Penix in the teens, trade back extra capital, defensive player at 23, I would not rip them for that.
I wouldn't pass on Maye. I had him as quarterback one going into the season. I have him as quarterback one going out of the season.
JJ McCarthy's way closer to the top 3 guys than he is to Bo Nix and to Michael Penix, and I might be ranking JJ McCarthy in my top 3 quarterbacks.
Let's go big, Purple Daily listeners. Let's go big.
Let's go!
The Minnesota Vikings select.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Hello and welcome to the third annual Purple Daily Draft Party, live from the sold-out Fillmore in Minneapolis and live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. This is Purple Daily, daily Vikings entertainment, where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
Woo!
Yes!
Woo! One!
This is wild, man. We have hundreds of people packed in here at the Fillmore in Minneapolis. My name is Phil Mackey. That's the sports dad, Judd Zolgad, over here.
Thank you.
We've got the executive producer, Declan Goff, in the house. And we will introduce you to other people throughout the night as we go forward here. But tonight is one of the most important nights in the history of Minnesota Vikings football.
You know what I think that deserves?
What do you think
What
that
is it,
deserves, Judd Zolgad?
Ladies and gentlemen, what should Sports Dad do? Should I do that?
Get the flag!
Get the flag, Judd.
There we go.
Wait,
whoa. Hold on. Hold on.
What is?
Hold on. What is that?
What is this?
It's the flag from my hardware store that I bought 3 years ago.
It's nice. It's not the
It's
popcorn
okay.
official sponsored flag that all of our audience members
No,
have.
it's not. It's not.
I
But what
think
are you
I
saying?
think you can do better than this,
Yeah.
Judd.
Hold on
I
a
think
second.
the sports.
You know what?
Can the sports dad do a little better than this for draft night? Can you just maybe it's draft night, Judd. Can we step our game up here for just a second?
I can't help you here, Judd. What do you have? I can only do so much for Judd.
He's walking backstage. I'm not sure.
Oh, God.
Oh no. Okay.
What?
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my God!
Oh, my God.
Oh! Now that's a flag!
That's a flag, baby.
Yeah, Judd Zolgad. That's a flag,
That's
dude.
a flag, baby.
Wow, the sports dad came to play tonight here at the Fillmore. So we're going to keep you guys for the YouTube audience and for the in-house audience. This is the only screen you need here. We are going to keep you posted on anything Vikings related, all of the different picks. You don't need the delayed ESPN coverage or NFL Network. We will have, by the way, I think we brought the, oh yeah, anytime you hear that chime, it means that somebody is making a pick in the NFL draft. So we'll keep you guys posted. But we're expecting what? Chaos tonight?
We are expecting, dare I say, the most important draft in the history of the Minnesota Vikings franchise, if they do it right.
Okay. So what does doing it right mean? Let's survey the audience here, shall we? Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Make some noise if you want the Vikings to draft Drake Maye tonight. Okay. That might be the loudest ovation.
That might be tough.
Oh, let's see.
That might be
Okay,
tough.
you know what? Let's try this one. Make some noise if you want the Vikings to draft Jaden Daniels tonight.
Second place. Feels like that's second place.
Okay. JJ McCarthy.
Oh, okay.
That's very solid.
Gosh, dude.
All right.
Very
All right.
solid.
Okay. Michael Penix.
I feel like that was more than Jaden Daniels.
I think Jaden Daniels is considered such a long shot
Sure.
because of the circumstances, but I will say on Michael Penix, I heard some boos as well. I heard smattering.
Okay. What if the Vikings draft Bo Nix tonight? Oh my God.
Thank you.
I almost feel like we should be. Listen, it's the Vikings, man. Like sometimes the story doesn't end the way that you hope that it will end, right? Are you guys really going to boo if they draft Bo Nix tonight?
You know, here's my philosophy. This team has been competitive, good, a lot. But when's the last time that they had a situation like this where you had such an integral part of the team that they could potentially give a lot to trade up and pick and fix a problem that has not been fixed for years? I contend Fran Tarkenton's last franchise QB. You know what tonight is? As I said on this morning show, tonight is the Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa Cojones draft. You got to put it all on the table. It's the Cojones draft. You got to do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I love it, man. So obviously we're going to have so many conversations throughout the night. We will keep you posted. By the way, it looks like there's thousands and thousands of people on the YouTube channel right now. So thank you guys. Please click that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy our nonsensical ramblings here. But let's introduce you guys to some of the fun players that are going to be with us here on stage and roaming around. Over here, stage, at least my right, Tyler Fornes and Miles Gorham, the Purple De Leon draft crew. Those guys know more about these actual players that are going to be drafted than any of us three hooligans over here. Also, from the Before I Die podcast, Bar Down Beauties and Judd's Hockey Show, Jesse Pierce
JP
is in the house. So she'll be roaming around looking for fun conversations with Vikings fans that we can put out on the YouTube channel here. And also, she'll moderate Vikings Vent Line. And also, over here, way stage left, our master of Vikings drumbeat skull chant ceremonies, John is in the house.
Look at that bass drum, baby.
Yes. In fact, John, do you think we could maybe give it a little test drive here?
Should we do it?
Should we do it? Skull chant here, huh?
Skull chant. Huh? Are you ready? Huh? Are you ready? Okay.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Great work.
So, all right, we're waiting for the number one overall pick to go on the clock here. We expect it to be the Bears taking Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Isn't it kind of crazy that we don't really know what's going to happen after that? I feel like sometimes you go into the draft and you get like the first 4 picks are already kind of slotted and the draft doesn't start for like an hour really. But it is kind of amazing how the most plugged-in national reporters, even the local people that cover these teams, don't really know what's going to happen starting at pick number 2 here, and certainly pick number 3, Judd.
Well, we assume that Washington's going to take Jaden Daniels, but there's been speculation now that they might pass, and if Washington takes, let's say, McCarthy or Maye, I think the Patriots aren't going to give up 3. I think the Patriots would be far more likely to stay in the 3rd spot and take Daniels. That happens, now JJ McCarthy is the last diamond left on the board, and you got the Vikings, you've got potentially the Broncos and Raiders. Now the Vikings have more to give up as far as assets.
Yeah.
But herein lies the question, because there was a report from the ESPN reporter Jeff Darlington at TCO today, which was that there was a lot of contention, consternation as they sort of work through this process, because the question becomes, what do you give up? I say you pay the price. If it's Drake Maye, who Kevin O'Connell wants, I say you pay the price, because how long has it been since we've had a coach prepared to coach a quarterback he wants?
I feel like we need specifics, though, because you don't just hop on the phone. All right, I'm Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa, and I'm on the phone with, what's his name?
Elliot Wolf?
Elliot Wolf,
Yep.
right, with the Patriots. And Elliot Wolf says, oh, hi there, sports dad, Judd Zulgad, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa. What is your price to move up to draft Drake Maye? And you say, I'm willing to pay the price.
11.
What does that mean?
11-23, next year's first-round pick. Whatever it takes to get it done, and here's why. I realized this driving here today. You know what? We've talked about Ponder, Christian Ponder, go ahead and boot, for a long time.
Can we get a Christian Ponder chant going here?
But please don't. No, that's just bad luck. But anyway, we also, the older folks like me, live in fear of Herschel Walker, because that's the trade that stripped the Vikings of so much. But this is a case where I'm tired of the Vikings being good. I want greatness. And if Kevin O'Connell tells me that Drake Maye can win me a Super Bowl, just one before I die, I'm giving up at least 3 first-round picks.
So that's right. We can cheer for Judd Zulgad wanting greatness.
Yeah, Sports Dad wants us to have a parade, a Lombardi trophy.
You know what? Can I just say you brought up Christian Ponder's name? I don't know why you did that. I don't know. By the way,
because I also brought up Herschel Walker.
Judd bringing up Christian Ponder's name 5 minutes before the most important quarterback draft in Vikings history. Nothing like sparking a little anxiety here.
Cautionary tale. Cautionary tale.
But here's what I'm sick of. We are all guilty of this. Most of us who follow this team for years and decades. And I think we've coined it Christian Ponder PTSD, where, oh my gosh, but what if they wind up with a Christian Ponder? Whoa, then the franchise is going to be smoldering for the next 10 years, right? What if they wind up with a Tavares Jackson?
Yeah.
I say, what if they wind up with a Patrick Mahomes?
Hell yeah.
What if they wind up with a Drake Maye turning into Josh Allen situation, right?
Correct.
I mean, there are. We sit here because we're Vikings fans, right? Like, oh, we have to brace for the worst possible wide left kick or busted quarterback. But what if this is the year that they finally hit on a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years, Dex?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Should I go deliver my first hot take?
Oh, yes.
Should I
please
go deliver
do.
the
Yes,
first hot
yes.
take?
Okay. We have a hot takes desk here in the house. Declan headed over to the hot takes desk. By the way, the Smokin' Hot Takes desk is presented by our friends at Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply. Let's give it up for them.
Barbecue Playground, baby.
In fact, you can not only visit their showroom in Minnetonka or visit northernfirebarbecue.com to see their full line of grills, smokers, and accessories. You can register to win the smoker that's on the stage right now by clicking on or snapping the QR code that's all over the building tonight, or go to scorenorth.com/draft party. All right, Declan, what's your hot take?
All right, so I think the price does not matter, because my hot take is give up all the draft picks, because if the quarterback leads the Vikings to the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. Give up all the first-round picks, baby, and go get your guy. Make it happen.
Okay. There you go. The first hot take. Declan just gave up 10 first-round picks right there.
You just made the Saints trade. You gave up the entire draft.
Yeah, go Ditka. I don't care. Go Ditka at this point.
I'm not gonna fight a hot take, but there is a line for me. Like, for instance.
Yeah, what is your line?
Okay, for instance, since we're playing the hits here early on this podcast, okay, there is a line.
I want a mock.
All right. So there's a couple noteworthy mock drafts that came out this morning that I want to draw people's attention to. One of them being Daniel Jeremiah. Dude, Mel Kiper didn't put a mock out today, right?
Mel.
No,
he didn't.
I don't think he did.
Nope.
Is Mel okay?
What happened to Mel?
Genuinely, is Mel okay? Then I don't understand why he wouldn't do it.
He put out some basically reckless speculation, but Field Yates took over the day of mock draft, and I'm very disappointed.
How can the godfather of mock,
something's up,
the morning of the biggest draft in NFL history, not put a mock draft out? That's my question. But Daniel Jeremiah from NFL.com, who I think is on the Mount Rushmore. Is he on the Mount Rushmore of mockers?
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jeremiah?
He's close to
Mount Rushmore of mockers.
Yeah, he's there.
Very well respected.
So he has the Vikings sticking at 11 and still winding up with JJ McCarthy. I mean, wouldn't that think about this? Like, it's a game of poker.
Yeah.
You'd be calling some bluffs or like have some intel.
Yep.
But if they could stick at 11 and maybe get one of their top, it sounds like they love Drake Maye. They also really like JJ McCarthy.
This guy loves Michael Penix.
This gentleman thinks they love Michael Penix, or you love Michael Penix. Both.
Okay, so you're influenced slightly by your love of Michael Penix.
And then, so they keep the 23rd overall pick.
Yep.
And they select one of the top edge rushers in the draft, Chop Robinson from Penn State.
That's a Forno guy.
Yep.
That's a Forno guy.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, maybe this is a good time to throw it to the Purple Daily on Draft Corner over here. If they wound up with JJ McCarthy at 11, Forno, and Miles, and Chop Robinson or another defensive player at 23, would that be a successful night for you guys? And if not, or if it is, what is a successful night for you guys tonight?
If the Vikings somehow ended up with Chop Robinson, I don't think my excitement could be contained. I truly don't understand why he's not viewed more highly by the NFL draft community. He's a top 5 player for me. He's number 4 on my board, number 1 edge. he has a Von Miller type get off on the football. And when you watch that, it's special. Not a lot of guys can get off that quickly. When you get off that quickly, it attacks offensive linemen in a very specific way. And then eventually when you start beating them on the outside, they overset, and then you can beat them on the inside. And not only that, he uses that first step to be explosive, busting up stuff like GT Compounder. I'm in love with Chop Robinson, and I think he could be special from day one. But I still do think he needs a little bit. All these edge rushers need a little bit of something.
Okay, what if they get Chop Robinson with the 11 and Bo Nix with the 23?
Oh.
Why would you do that to me? No.
I'm just asking questions, man.
That's a great question. Listen, but there is no world where Bo Nix should be taken in the top 3 rounds of the NFL draft.
You're a fearmonger.
No, I'm not a fearmonger. The reason why Bo Nix's ADOT was 6.9 yards and the reason why he threw so many screens is because he can't attack down the field. Yeah. He tried doing that for 3 years at Auburn in that vertical passing game. And you know why they had the offense designed that way? It's because he can't do that kind of stuff successfully. I'm out 100% of Bo Nix. No fear-mongering, no hot take. He's just not an NFL.
Bo Nix has a family.
You know what? I met him in Mobile. He's a nice human. I don't want him as my quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Nice guy, but
yep.
So okay though. All right. So Miles, let's say that plays out. Right? It's a defensive player first.
I'm out.
And then it's QB at 20. You're out.
I'm out.
You're out on that.
It just feels like a loss. That feels the first option there where they got JJ McCarthy, Chop Robinson. You give me something like that where they don't have to give up a future pick or give up 23 and still get a top 4 quarterback. That's an A+. I don't care what happens the rest of the day, rest of the draft. That's an A+. But the reverse of that, where they have to like kind of wait and maybe get one at 23, that's just not convincing to me that they care about that guy.
All right. This is the only screen you need. The only screen you need. The first pick of the 2024 draft is in, according to our Twitter feed.
Yep. According to
Which, by the way, hopefully it's not the For You algorithm section, or we're going to be getting duped by fake Adam Schefters all night. And with the number 1 overall pick, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams.
And now the draft starts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And now the draft starts.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, at least they didn't make us wait the whole 10 minutes.
It was like 6 minutes.
It was
right?
like 6 minutes. At least they didn't make us wait. Like some teams, they've known for 2 months who they're going to take, and they make you wait the entire time.
It's like Bears. We've talked about you for months and months now in your garbage franchise. The courtesy of not using up the full 10 minutes is appreciated for sure.
So this next pick really determines so much.
Yes.
Because if it's Jaden Daniels, I think the Vikings are on the horn with the Patriots, and I think they have a very good chance to get the 3. If it's not, I think again, the Patriots stand pat. They take Jaden Daniels at 3, and now it's on to get McCarthy. This is, to me, this next pick begins a sequence that will be pivotal to who ends up as the quarterback long-term for this team.
Yep. So while we wait and see what the Commanders are up to, and then, I mean, it's possible the Vikings could make a move at any point here.
Correct.
Let's throw it. I believe she's up in the VIP section here.
JP.
Jesse
What's up,
Pierce
guys?
is
Here
hanging
we
out
are.
here. Jesse!
You guys are awesome. This is a vibe and a half. I am loving every minute of it, even Declan's hot takes. We're here for that. I've got a hot take that'll come up in just a minute, but right now Chad is joining me from the Twin Cities. Chad, what would be the most disappointing thing the Vikings could do to make you just hang your head in sorrow? Because as we know, Minnesota fans, we have a lot of sorrow.
All right. The most disappointing thing would be if they miss a quarterback entirely in the first round. That would be, yes.
Painful, right? Who's going to be so sad if they don't take a quarterback at all, right?
Boo! Oh, no.
The worst. All right, what's the quarterback that you're eyeing up? Do you want JJ? Do you want Drake? Where are we going?
I think for the Vikings, McCarthy's the best pick. Yeah. He's ready to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't hate it. I've got another interesting take, you guys, from my friend Kirsten here.
Kirsten.
You might recognize her from Bar Down Beauties. Kirsten's been hearing some rumblings at her place of work that I would like to get your guys' thoughts on stage. Kirsten, take it away.
I don't think people are going to like it, but I have heard Vikings aren't going to draft a quarterback because they're trading for Justin Herbert.
Whoa! Hold on.
Reckless speculation.
Okay.
Some St. Cloud State hot takes coming through right
There
now.
you go. That's what happens with the Buttes in the house.
So, first of all, thank you for that tidbit of reckless speculation, okay? You know, as you guys know, if you're regular listeners or viewers of the podcast, we have invited during this time of year anyone who has a cousin's, wife's, brother's, coworker's, friend. If you have information, send it in, right?
Kirsten just qualified.
She's like a first-person connection. Like, you know,
But I mean, she heard it at work. It's perfect.
Right. So we've had some emails come in anonymously from people kind of floating that idea. But here's the really interesting thing. Yesterday, ESPN Bet, which puts out odds, they changed their odds, and this has happened over the course of like the last week. A few weeks ago, the Chargers were 100-1 to draft a quarterback. Yesterday, they were 6-1, which means over the last few weeks, it's become a lot more likely the Chargers draft a quarterback when they already have Justin Herbert. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there for reckless speculation's sake. It's Kirsten's fault, okay? If the Vikings traded for Justin Herbert tonight, what would the reaction be here? All right. I mean, it's a long shot, but you know we're here to explore all options on Purple Daily. So
well, and I mean, you know, Jim Harbaugh back with JJ. I could actually see now. My question is, what do you do with the contract? But if you look at Herbert with the Chargers offense, there's a good case. He's like, already, I'm sort of out on this.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys run the ball. Greg Roman loves to run the ball.
Yeah, they don't pass the ball.
Yeah,
so,
and McCarthy would go in fit perfect.
Could I deliver my second hot take? Should I go back over because I have another second hot take to potentially deliver on Justin Herbert. Should I go back over and deliver another one?
Going back over to the Northern Fire Barbecue and Grilling hot take station. We may have to restrain Declan from hot takes.
Yeah, because he's got the long walk too.
Declan, by the end of the night, he's just going to be stumbling over to the hot takes.
It's the local he's taking.
My hot take would be trading for Justin Herbert would be even more disappointing than the Kirk Cousins era.
What?
No.
Boo this man.
Yeah, that's a terrible hot take.
Boo this man.
That's a terrible hot take.
What are we doing? We're going to pay. Well,
the money, they're trying to cut you off.
We're going to pay another quarterback who is not elite that cripples you and you can't do it?
New producer. New producer.
Justin Herbert is elite.
Oh man!
Wow.
We had to throw it out there. You know, it's out there. The odds have changed.
I don't think
it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it happens, but it does make some sense that he wouldn't want to play for Harbaugh, for the Chargers.
Yeah.
And can, you know, in all candidness, can you think of a better fit for Kevin O'Connell than a ready-made Justin Herbert?
I can't. Now people are freaking out a little bit about like the money. And obviously you'd be taking on like most of the rest of that contract. Not to get into the weeds on this, but
right.
Here's the thing: like the trade couldn't happen until after June 1st for financial reasons. So you'd have to like agree on a trade, hope that he doesn't break his leg in a motorcycle accident or something.
Well, you might want to tell him not to
stay in a bubble.
You know what? No scooters too.
Yeah.
You and Dex can ride the scooters all you want. He ain't riding a scooter.
Well, should we throw it to the Purple Daily on Draft Crew on what they should do between Justin Herbert or drafting or trading up for another quarterback?
I would say, like, I'd love to get their thoughts on just it's a value game now, right? So, yeah, let you walk over to the Purple Daily on Draft Desk here, and I'll throw this question out to you guys. What is the price to move up to, what would you trade to get up to number 3 at this point? Where's your line?
I don't have one.
Oh, wow.
I don't have a line. And
okay.
Drake Maye is number 2 on my board. He's my number 1 quarterback, and I think he's truly special.
All right. Okay. It's go time.
The number 2 pick is in. The Washington Commanders are selecting Jaden Daniels. The New England Patriots are currently on the clock. Okay. So hey, right now, there's a good chance Kwesi is on the phone with the Patriots right now, right?
Yep.
What
do you want?
So there is no price. 11.23.
No, there is a price.
Miles, what's your price?
It's
3 firsts. It's the 11, 23, and 2025 first, and then you throw in the filler, the third rounds, whatever. But it's 3 first-round picks plus the change. But it's not 4. That's unprecedented. You can't go that round for the fourth or third quarterback in the draft. You just can't go that high.
Listen, I'd pay for it because I think he's going to be a franchise guy, top 5 guy. And you have Kevin O'Connell in this kind of environment. The number one thing with a quarterback is environment. The number 2 thing is talent. You have both. Go get him. Pay anything within any form of reason to go get him.
It's the perfect place for him. Absolutely the perfect place for him.
Okay, so 3 first-round picks to go get Drake Maye or 3 first-round picks to go get Justin Herbert?
I would do it for Drake Maye because...
Or Maye, yeah, sorry.
Here's the thing with Herbert. Great player, but you don't get any benefit of a rookie contract. Right. And then on top of that, you don't have the first-round picks to fortify your roster because you're spending money on that expensive contract.
He wouldn't cost you 3 firsts.
No, probably not.
We got a Kwesi chant going here.
Yeah, make that call.
I want to hear what the chant is if they draft Bo Nix later.
Stop trolling these poor people. They're nice enough to come out and
see us. You guys are going to turn on him, aren't you?
They're nice enough to come out. Look at these loyal people. Why are you doing this to Bo Nix thing to them?
I will say to that point about situation, infrastructure, of all the teams that are fishing in the quarterback pond here tonight, right? The Bears have a pretty good situation for a quarterback, but the Patriots are a complete disaster roster-wise.
Right.
No wide receivers. The Vikings have the best infrastructure of any team looking for a quarterback. They would elevate. That's why I think there's actually multiple correct answers for the Vikings. Almost any quarterback would step in, including Sam Darnold, by the way, who's going to play some games, and be better than they would in New England or somewhere else.
Sure, but we're talking about potentially a Hall of Fame type of draft pick. That's why I think if you are Drake Maye or JJ McCarthy, their representatives, you so badly want that kid taken here because you're going to step into, as you just said, a ready-made everything around you, and you might need refinement, but guess what? Your roster doesn't.
Adam Schefter just tweeted something interesting. Checking with his sources. Adam Schefter says, one source said there is 0 chance the Patriots trade the number 3 overall pick. They will stick and take their quarterback of the future. And this is part of the problem. I feel like for weeks and weeks we've had the conversation of, does Kwesi have the stomach to give up what it takes, right? But at the end of the day, the Vikings are going to the Patriots and they're saying, hey, we want to buy your house. What's it going to cost? And the Patriots are like, boy, we love this house. It's a waterfront property. It's not anymore, but they think it is. And it's probably more than you think. You say, well, we'll give you 3 times the listing price. They could say no. They could just say no.
Sure, but that's where JJ McCarthy's now next. That's where you have the opportunity now. That's the nice thing about this. Patriots, Cardinals, Chargers. And there's one more bite at the apple that might not be poison. So can they go get that? I think it becomes far more conceivable that you could trade with the Cardinals or especially the Chargers.
Yeah.
So if you offered 3 first-round picks and were told no, you can't fix that. What's nice is there's another quarterback left.
Yeah. Drake Maye is so interesting too because I think if he goes to New England, they have Jacoby Brissett, but that fan base, there might be a desperation to start him early.
That's what I was saying today.
Dude, if the Vikings draft Drake Maye somehow, I think you could safely sit him for the entire year, just like the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes, and just say, listen, man, we're a competitive team. We're going to win some games. We got Sam Darnold coming in for a look at age 26. Just chill out and sit. Okay, we have a pick. Oh, boy, here we go. The Patriots did stick and make a pick at number 3 where they have selected quarterback Drake Maye.
Good luck to him.
Is this a bust chance? The crazy thing is, he might be a bust in New England.
Yeah, there's some Bryce Young here. There's some Bryce Young potential.
Yeah.
They're going to play him too soon. They're going to play him with a roster that's not good enough. This is the thing. This is not. the Patriots, in my opinion, have so many needs. Why wouldn't you take the draft capital the Vikings would probably, or heck, another team give you and build out? But good luck to them. Good luck to the 2024 version of the Carolina Panthers.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see here now. The Cardinals might stick at 4, but now it's going to be this is going to be interesting. How do teams value JJ McCarthy?
Right.
Are they going to put, he has flown up the draft board. Has he flown up so much that someone's going to, because the Vikings right now might be talking to the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been known to move back and then move back up.
And then come back up.
There's a good chance that Kwesi has 6 phones right now. He's got
He's got
three
Brzezinski
in each hand.
He's got Brzezinski on a phone. He's on a phone. But you've got a situation here where I think that we can say with pretty much confidence, Kevin O'Connell really liked Drake Maye, and he really likes McCarthy.
Yeah.
And so that's now the option. Now with the Chargers, again, you're going to get called by the Broncos, the Raiders, and now it again goes back to what will you give up? I do think, though, that if you play poker and wait for 11 to see if you can nab McCarthy, I think it's a really dangerous game.
Yeah, the poker game here is going to be interesting. How much do the Giants? Well, JJ McCarthy was on the Rich Eisen show yesterday, and Rich Eisen said, "Hey, you got any feeling?" He was kind of just probing, and JJ McCarthy didn't have to answer, but he said, "Hey, you got a feeling for who might draft you on Thursday night?" And JJ McCarthy goes, "I mean, I kind of have a feeling. The Giants are a team I've spent a lot of time with. I know their whole playbook, and I feel really good about our interactions. Blah blah blah." So. Is this a spot where the Giants could jump from 6 to 4 and box the Vikings out? Now, the Cardinals could get more from the Vikings, but they'd have to drop down to 11, and they might miss out on Marvin Harrison Jr., for instance.
So should the Vikings then, I guess like a little survey for the room, should the Vikings give up 11, 23, and next year's first to go up to 4? No. Okay. That's good to know. Because if that's the case, then you're going to have to wait this out then a little bit more.
By the way, there is a report here from My Sports Update, Ari from My Sports Update. The Vikings and Giants tried to get the Patriots to slide out of the 3rd pick, but the Patriots didn't want to play any dangerous games. They just wanted to draft Drake Maye. So the Vikings, now, we don't know what they offered.
So
that's the thing.
But this now means almost certainly the Giants are a credible quarterback threat. Because coming into the draft, we were thinking that they might be, but we didn't know for sure.
Yeah.
To me, this solidifies the fact the Giants are a threat at 6.
Yes.
Well, or does it solidify the fact that they wanted one guy and they couldn't get that guy, but they still have Daniel Jones?
But if they like McCarthy, I think Jones is a bust, and I think Jones's career was made by that hack, Ed Donatel. I hope I can't get sued for saying that. But I think that the Giants front office and Brian Daboll are smart enough to say that if Daniel Jones continues to struggle, which I think he will, we're all fired. I think they're a credible McCarthy threat.
I don't think they're a credible McCarthy threat because I don't think McCarthy fits what Brian Daboll wants in a quarterback. Brian Daboll wants an alien. That's why they tried to go get Drake Maye. Yeah. He developed and created Josh Allen. He took him from being this raw guy who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn to being a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. He wants that guy. He doesn't want JJ McCarthy. He doesn't want Michael Penix or Bo Nix. He wants the alien.
By the way, there's a couple. Here's one more for you guys. Just pulling this up.
I want a mock.
As we go through other options now that Drake Maye is not an option. Okay. So Peter Schrager, very plugged into the National Football League, he had the Vikings trading up to 7 with the Titans, taking JJ McCarthy and not giving up the 23 and then taking a defensive player at 23. Okay, if the Vikings could get JJ McCarthy and not trade the 23rd pick, how would we feel about that? Okay.
That's the next best option now.
Yeah.
That is literally the next best option.
But can you call some bluffs? Because I don't know that you can make that happen, keep your 23, and move up this high to 4 or 5.
Oh, right now, no. You'd have to use both. But you might be able to get something back because the price, it's clear to me that it was the top 3, and then J.J. McCarthy's right after that, and then Bo Nix, Penix, wherever they have them.
Yeah.
So the price of poker is a little less than it was for the top 3 guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, Schefter reporting the Cardinals are not expected to trade pick 4 After last year's movement all around the first round, the Cardinals are expected to stay put and take an offensive weapon. So Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, almost certainly going to the Cardinals at 4. So now it's on to, once that's official, the Chargers pick.
Okay. Let's real quick throw it back up to Jesse Pierce, who's roving around this amazing crowd tonight. Jesse, what's going on? Who do you got?
Loving it. First of all, I say Vikings, go get your man. Whoever, if you want JJ, move up and get your man if you think that's what it's going to take. That's all I'm saying, Quasey. We have a great crowd here. We have a proposition for a location next year, and I think you guys might like this one. Where do you think you want to take Purple Daily next year?
Yo, Phil Mackey, this one's for you.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to the Fillmore. Great job. Next year, what do you say? Let's bring the show to Las Vegas.
Oh, wow, dude. There's a Fillmore Las Vegas we can support, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Let's make it happen.
Oh, we love it. How are we feeling right now about where the Vikings are at? We see Drake Maye off the board. I know we loved him, but JJ still might be.
Little disappointed, but here's the thing. JJ McCarthy, right? He said he's going to run through a brick wall for Kevin O'Connell. He's still on the board. Let's do it. Let's go get JJ. Let's make it happen. Franchise QB.
Franchise QB, you guys. We love it. Back to you, boys.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Okay. Kind of chalky here early. Kind of chalky. Not as much chaos as people were predicting. With the 4th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr.
All right.
Okay. And now the Chargers are on the clock. This is a really interesting spot.
Yes.
This could be the spot. A lot of people having the Vikings trading up with Jim Harbaugh and company here, right?
Yeah, and I just fear that if Tyler's not right and JJ goes to the Giants, now it's Penix probably, but I got to think that O'Connell really had his heart set on one of the two, and one of those two guys is still there. I'd be willing to pay the price.
So I'm waving to someone on FaceTime right now. That was amazing.
The logic.
As we collect our breath 40 minutes into the 2024 draft, and the Vikings are they could jump up at any given time right now. Let's shout out a couple of our amazing partners that have helped us put on this event here. We went in search for a bigger venue. You guys, the audience, delivered. I mean, first of all, thank you guys, the audience.
You guys are awesome.
You guys have inexplicably made this one of the top football podcasts in America, which is sort of mind-blowing to us. But it's incredible. Like, we've met people from almost every state in the country is represented in this room. We've met people from Baltimore, from Winnipeg, from California, Florida. And it's just amazing to see the community that you guys have turned this podcast into. So thank you guys first and foremost for supporting this podcast, this team. A shout out to our friends at Popped Corn, these wonderful Justin Jefferson tins up here. The Purple Daily Draft Party made possible in part by our friends at Popped Corn in Minnetonka, the official flag sponsor of the Purple Daily Draft Party. Ridiculously delicious gourmet popcorn and fudge. Learn more and purchase at poppedcorn.com or visit scorenorth.com/draft party to learn more. Also, we've met a bunch of people that are hanging out at Element Hotel tonight. So thank you to Element Hotel for supporting the draft party and that 15% rate discount, offering Purple Daily fans a place to just sort of crash and stumble if this night goes sideways, I guess. If you're checking out a Twins game at Target Field, a Wolves playoff game, or just looking for a place to stay downtown, you can find out more about Element Hotel at scorenorth.com/draft party to book your stay. And then one more shout out here before the drama is solved with the Chargers. Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply, these glorious, glorious cooking machines up on stage here. In fact, Aaron is in the crowd tonight somewhere. I don't know where he's roaming around. Over here? Okay, there we go.
Where is he?
Love it, dude. So you can check out Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply, the showroom in Minnetonka, or visit northernfirebarbecue.com to see their full line of grills, smokers, accessories, etc. Elevate your grill game with the best in town, Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply.
We are still waiting. It looks like before the Cardinals pick was made, there was not any real talk of a trade. So either the Vikings were told earlier that the Cardinals were going to stick at 4, or that wasn't their target to get to 4. I got to believe that the teams did have discussions.
Yeah. You know what? I think the good news here is there are so many drafts where how a quarterback pans out doesn't fall in line based on where they're drafted, right? Like there seems to be a little bit of a buzzkill with Drake Maye being off the board for the Vikings. But, I mean, just look at a couple fairly recent drafts. 2018, here was the order in which the quarterbacks were taken. The first quarterback was Baker Mayfield. The second one was Sam Darnold. Now, situation was horrible for Sam Darnold, so.
Correct.
The third one was Josh Allen.
Yep.
It was the best one.
Yep.
Then Josh Rosen was the fourth quarterback on the board. And then Lamar Jackson, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, goes as the fifth quarterback, right? Later in the first round.
And look at, in a lot of those cases, look at the situation. Allen was actually, in fact, it was the Bills GM at the time said, if this does not work out, I'll be fired. If it works out, none of you will remember what I gave up. And they put him into a solid situation where, I mean, Josh Rosen was a bust, but the Arizona Cardinals also are no great shakes.
Yeah.
I think it comes down a lot of times to we don't give enough thought to the situation, which is why I think Drake Maye might be fine, but he got a raw deal. I would not want to be with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Like, it could, you know, the Sam Darnold. So I'm on the record saying I would love a parallel universe where you could see what Sam Darnold looks like for like a year and then like go back in time and say, okay, never mind. Let's go back and grab a JJ McCarthy or somebody.
Right.
Because I want to see what he looks like with an actual head coach that knows what he's doing.
Right.
Actual weapons. I mean, if you go back and look at Sam Darnold's situation, we've talked about it on the podcast. His number one receiver as a rookie was Robbie Chosen, who is a made-up creative player, you know?
If you could name one team, like if there was a team you don't want to be drafted by, the Jets are right up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
his
how many
two
times have they
offensive
ruined?
coordinators, years 1 and 2, literally got fired and never got hired back in the NFL.
Jeremy Bates.
One guy has never coached in football again.
Jim Bates' kid, Jeremy Bates. Yeah.
So situation matters so much, and that's why I don't know. It wasn't Drake Maye or bust for me going into tonight. I think there's multiple correct answers. I think JJ McCarthy, especially sitting for a year, could be an excellent selection.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, wait a second.
It's not.
It's a half.
It's a half chime. It's a half
The
chime.
Chargers are not trading, which is interesting. So we don't know who they're picking yet, or do we? Are they picking JJ McCarthy?
I'm guessing they're going to pick Alt.
Or J.C. Latham is the other guy, the tackle.
I think it's Latham.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a quarterback.
This is interesting because if they don't, they're not. I don't think they're taking a quarterback. Just to be clear on the Justin Herbert speculation,
right?
But that would put the Giants in the driver's seat. But if you're the Vikings and you thought that was a risk, wouldn't you have pulled the trigger on moving ahead of the Giants? I mean,
they could be playing poker here. My point is, it's just a very risky game.
As Kevin Seifert just tweeted, the Vikings have essentially ceded JJ McCarthy to the Giants if the Giants want him.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
What does that mean about how the Vikings feel about JJ McCarthy?
Well, here's my question. If the Chargers were indeed engaged in trade talks, what were they asking for and where was the line drawn? That's what the question comes down to me.
And probably to the Purple Daily on Draft Crew, I got to imagine that the Giants aren't going to move off from that pick because they're going to want their quarterback, right? So there's probably no solution.
Or are they going to take Malik Neighbors?
He might have already been taken.
Do tell. Wait, where are we?
Neighbors is going 5.
Malik Neighbors is going number 5. Okay, here we go.
So I think the Vikings are going to call the Giants bluff and make them take Roman.
Wait. Albert Breer is reporting. We should probably slow our roll here a little bit. That the Chargers are taking Joe Alt with the number 5 overall pick.
Yeah, that gives them a big tackle, which they desperately were.
By the way, Minnesota's own Joe Alt winds up.
Let's give it up for Joe Alt. Let's give it up. Let's wave those flags. Dude. We need reasons to wave those flags.
How about that? Joe Alt to the Chargers. So now he's
a 10-year guy.
unless Albert Breer is wrong, we'll see more people chime in here. But if you're the Giants,
it's right. It's right. Joe
Yep,
Alt,
yep.
number 5.
So that means, as a Vikings fan, as the Vikings, you call Giants bluff here and say, if you want JJ McCarthy, he's yours. But you have 2 of the top 10 receivers. You got Roma Dunze and Malik Neighbors available.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
This is fast. So the Vikings clearly had a big separation between Drake Maye and JJ McCarthy, right? Because they were, according to reports, the Vikings were trying to get to the number 3.
Yep.
And they couldn't.
Yep.
Presumably for Drake Maye.
Well,
right?
And now the question becomes, is Daniel Jeremiah's mock right, and is the Vikings game here going to work? If it
this
works,
could be amazing for the Vikings, by the way.
It could be. It could be, or it could bring this room to a big old chorus of boos.
Well, are we at a point where the Vikings will not now have to give up pick 23 to move up anywhere?
Right.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. Well, I mean, Drake Maye, I think, was that guy.
Yep.
So I think I think when Patriots stood pat, that probably brought that to an end.
JJ McCarthy and Chop Robinson, right?
Oh, dude, that could be.
If you can get
Give
McCarthy.
me Chop. Give me Chop.
Tyler Forno's all in on Chop Robinson.
It will warm my heart after
Oh, wait.
Yo.
A report from Schefter right now. In recent weeks, both the Patriots and Vikings reached out to the Chargers to see if they had any interest in trading quarterback Justin Herbert, per league sources. The answer was very quickly a flat no. Not only did the Chargers love Herbert, who they won't use correctly, but they also would have had to take on, and then he
a lot of money.
Yeah,
A lot of money.
So Justin Herbert, there was.
So the headline here is the Vikings called on Justin Herbert officially.
And by the way, that's to write that down
for me.
For me.
For you.
Oh, God.
If you guys
remember yours.
Because it's all about my write that downs. Really.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Did you
Gotta
guys see,
remember yours.
Did you guys see that Kevin O'Connell had talked about the quarterbacks he liked across the league, and he mentioned Justin Herbert as a guy this offseason. I can't remember where he was talking about it, but he said Herbert was like one of his favorite quarterbacks in the league.
That's tampering, by the way, from Kevin O'Connell. people are talking about the Falcons.
There
getting
goes
hit
pick
with
11.
tampering. Yeah.
There goes pick 11 now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So that's amazing breaking news. The headline is the Vikings put a phone call in.
Yep.
All of this, you guys, you know what? For those of you that thought we were being clickbait speculation artists with that Justin Herbert episode, people know what they're talking about behind the scenes. That's really interesting.
Well, that's like Kirsten's coworker.
Yeah.
Who had the tip. Yeah. I mean, that's why reckless speculation is always welcome on our show.
By the way, I think Jesse has our friend who literally got a Purple Daily related tattoo put on his body here. So let's go back to Jesse Pierce.
Let's just let the tattoo speak for itself, boys. Just one before I die. We love that here. Let's get a round of applause for that. That is permanent dedication
awesome.
to
you,
not
dude.
only us here at Purple Daily, but Minnesota. You've been pacing just about as much as I have. How nervous are you right now?
Extremely nervous because I don't think JJ McCarthy gets past the Giants.
How do we feel, boys? JJ going to get past the Giants, or the Giants going to go in? That's the waiting game that Minnesota now is in.
Yeah, I'm going to ask a fear-mongering question, okay? I know I've been trying to be positive.
Don't say
here,
Bo
okay?
Nix again.
No, I'm not going to say. Well, here's my question. We know that they wanted Drake Maye.
Yep.
We know that they now officially put a phone call in on Justin Herbert.
Yep.
If the Giants draft JJ McCarthy, does that make this a failed night for the Vikings in your mind?
Well, that's a question.
Would that be a failed night for the Vikings?
Is that a failed night or no?
I mean, if they love Penix.
I've been on record as saying if they take Penix, I can certainly tolerate that, and he brings some nice qualities.
Yeah.
If they don't get Penix, then yes, I think it's a failed night. I mean, tonight is all about the future at the most important position in all of sports. So Penix, I'm okay with. After that, I'm not okay anymore. I might need to go take a nap.
This is where, oh man,
calm down.
At this point, though, I still think they're set up very well. If they call the Giants bluff here, which is what they're doing, right?
They did call the Giants.
Oh, here we go. Okay, we have a pick in.
Okay, hold on.
With the number 6 overall pick in the National Football League draft, the New York Giants select wide receiver Malik Neighbors. Judd, get the flag. I love a good game of poker. The Vikings stared across the table with their poker sunglasses on. All night, he check. He trapped me. For those of you the 8 people who watched Rounders.
So that's off the board. Then are we on a hope or waiting strategy game here, Forno? Or are you trying to trade up to 8? Are we trying to trade up to 7?
I think with Joe Alt off the board, you could argue that there's not necessarily a tackle worthy of 7, but there's a couple worthy of 11. And that kind of drop for the Tennessee Titans may actually work for them.
This could be great.
I'm not 100% sold on trading up for McCarthy. I like him. I don't love him like I did Drake Maye. But if you feel like you need to give up a little bit of capital to go get your guy, just do it and don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
Miles, how about you?
Yeah, I'm go get McCarthy, because if you think the teams behind you, whether it's the Raiders, the Broncos, any other team that might be looking for a quarterback in this draft, and you have McCarthy as a highly rated quarterback, you're not having to give up 23 now. Go get him. I got zero issue with it. Now, how patient is Kwesi going to get? I'm curious, but I just go get him.
Yeah. By the way, someone is this I don't know if they showed like a camera shot on the U.S. Bank Stadium, but apparently Kwesi has like ducked his head out of the war room for a minute to get a breather.
Okay.
So
is that a breather or is that a phone call?
Could be a phone call.
It's a sigh of relief the Giants didn't take a quarterback.
Yeah.
Nice
So,
call,
but so Judd, you've been the most nervous about the poker game, the risk of calling someone's bluff.
Yep.
Now they probably had some intel. I don't think they're sitting in there like, oh gosh, without any information. But
right
now that they essentially called the biggest bluff of the top 10 picks right now, and one of their favorite quarterbacks has made it past a major milestone. How do you feel now?
Still nervous.
Okay.
Until I get him, I'm nervous. I'm sorry. I've watched this team for far too long. I have seen victory snap from the jaws too many times to be confident. So, until they actually get the guy, I am nervous.
Hey, Tim on the switcher, is it possible for us to put the current draft board up on the screen for the YouTube audience? So, okay, here's where we're at right now. On the clock are the Tennessee Titans. Thank you, Tim, by the way. Our staff here, we'll shout you guys out, but we have an amazing production staff here tonight. Tennessee Titans on the clock. Atlanta Falcons at 8. Chicago Bears at 9. New York Jets at 10. And then, let's keep going. Vikings 11. Broncos 12. Raiders 13. So nobody in front of the Vikings needs a quarterback, but 2 teams behind the Vikings could trade up and jump the Vikings.
And I was going to say, starting with the Titans, the Falcons, and the Bears, I am on the phone myself to the Broncos and Raiders. And then I'm on the phone with the Vikings saying I'm about to pull the trigger on a trade.
Yeah, the Broncos offered 9 first-round picks.
What are you going to do about it? Because they're going to take McCarthy. Yeah. So, I again, this is why I'm nervous until it's done. Yeah. Because this is all a very elaborate system that you have to get through to land McCarthy still. I don't think it's as simple as him falling to you at 11.
No, but here's some good news, okay? Because this is a fun little draft party. This is great, right? Vikings are drafting 11th, 23rd. It's a fun little time with our friends.
It's fun. We're a little nervous.
I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we've passed the stage of needing to give up the 2025 first-round pick.
Oh, yeah.
Which means there will be another first-round draft party.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hold on.
Oh, you're going to get the flag.
Hit it.
The Vikings might still have a 2025 first-round pick. Get the flag. Let's go.
But the other interesting part about this whole thing, too, is if they don't value McCarthy as much as they do to trade up, is Penix their guy?
Listen, man, I stand for Penix, man. I like Penix. And it's funny because after the first semifinal game against a much worse Texas defense compared to the Michigan defense, right? He was there was excited mock drafters the Monday after that semifinal game that had Michael Penix going top 3. So I don't know. I wouldn't hate it if they wound up with Michael Penix. By the way, here's some stuff coming out about the Giants from Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. The Giants bluffed quarterback at number 6. Instead, they opted for a weapon for Daniel Jones. And I'm sorry to break it to the Giants. Another weapon for Daniel Jones.
Hey, we have a pick in for the Titans too, by the way.
We do have a pick in.
Yep.
We have a pick in. With the number 7 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select offensive tackle J.C. Latham.
All right, that's good news. Great news.
This draft is, if McCarthy is one of the guys, this is playing out perfectly for the Vikings.
Yep.
Perfectly for the Vikings.
Hey, the Falcons owe the Vikings something for that tampering, right? So
here's a good chance.
I'd really like to see the Vikings go get this pick just to end, because I'm still shaky over it here.
Okay, so Forno.
Judd's getting nervous by the minute.
I'm getting very nervous.
Forno, do you give up a 4th-round pick to get to 8 at this point?
Yeah, what do you have to give up here?
In order to get to 8, you'd have to give up 108 and 129, but you could also try and sweeten the deal and give up a 3rd or a 4th next year.
Yeah.
So you can keep one of those 4ths this year. That's probably the route I prefer. I don't want to give up future draft capital, but those 4ths are going to be really valuable this year because day 3 has a steep cliff due to COVID and NIL.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so at this point, the price to move up, so is it safe to assume that the Vikings they get to keep their 23 and certainly keep their 2025 first-round pick at this point, right?
Yeah, unless they want to do something crazy like trade up from 23 and then keep 11, which is also a possibility.
Oh, I see. So keep 11 and then go from 23 up to like 15 or whatever.
All right.
And take another quarterback.
No,
Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy. Let's
go from 23 to 8. And then keep 11.
Got
so then
you.
you take pick 8, and then you get a stud at pick 11.
I sort of like that.
Talk dirty, Tyler Forness.
Yeah, Forno, I sort of like that idea.
Sorry, what were you saying, Judd?
Oh, I said I love that idea.
Sorry, I got excited there.
I love that idea, but I'd like to see him trade up just to sort of end this because they're in such good shape right now.
Are you okay?
I thought you
I'm very
told me.
nervous.
I thought you told me to enjoy the great reckless speculation and the process
You
of
were
this.
because you were complaining about the draft like a month ago.
Yeah, I want the resolution. I want the resolution. I want to know who our quarterback is, right? That's what I want to know.
No, I loved it for 2 months. It carried the show. Now I can end it.
Okay.
Now we're all together with friends. We're gathered with friends here in a large ballroom in which we can see the resolution come, and the Vikings have a quarterback of the future.
Oh, man. So the Atlanta Falcons are on the clock right now. And it would be interesting if there was some sort of like quid pro quo.
I wonder.
Let's not let the league handle the tampering thing. What if you get Vikings
I
move
think
up
you
to
could do
11
that.
for some like the 129 or something?
That's
right?
what the Cardinals did with the Eagles last year, because like they just agreed, hey, we'll do this side deal.
NFL, we're good. We're square.
Yeah, I wonder
We're
if you
good.
could do that.
Yeah,
the
you
Falcons
could.
still might balk because Kirk sold them out by accident or on purpose. Who knows why?
That's hilarious, man. So, Kirk, welcome to Atlanta. You know, what's this
Your
process
trainers are the
like here?
greatest.
Well, we started packing boxes 2 weeks before free agency because it was a done deal. And then I've become best friends with the trainer. This is great.
I bought a Falcons jersey 2 weeks ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I've been negotiating with the tight end for his number. Okay, so it feels like JJ McCarthy is perhaps in the sights right now.
Right.
Now, we put together a bunch of anonymous scouts and NFL executives and what they are saying about JJ McCarthy. I kind of love this one here. This is from an NFL scout, anonymous, about the next best quarterback potentially on the board. He says, before JJ McCarthy signed with Michigan out of high school, he was telling other Michigan recruits that if they wanted to party and chase girls, go somewhere else. His class at Michigan was going to be the one that restored Michigan football. To have that mentality and to go achieve it, JJ McCarthy is different.
Yep, which means I could not have played on this Michigan team.
You couldn't have?
No. I was out too late. But
Chasing girls in high school.
you know the other thing about McCarthy I really like? He's a hockey player. He's gritty. He's gritty.
Did he actually play hockey?
Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
So like 4th line center gritty or like?
I think he might have been better than that.
Okay, I was going to say.
But he loves the sport, and I think he played it. And there's a lot of intangibles there. There's a lot of intangibles.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more ceiling that there necessarily is, but there's a lot of things to like, and I think he'd be a good fit.
Well, and I mean, part of the JJ McCarthy angst was if you're going to give up the 23 and like a future first to go up and get a guy with a small sample size who basically had the best running game and but now that's off the table.
Right.
Like you're not you're not risking giving up all these future assets anymore. I mean, you give up a future 4th-round pick. So, again, this to me, if the Vikings have JJ McCarthy high up on their quarterback list, and it plays out this way, and they get him calling bluffs, and he falls into their laps, can you hang on for like 30 more minutes, Judd, if they stick at 11? And are you going to have an anxiety attack on stage?
I'm too old for this crap. At 54, I want them to. Look. If they keep 23, there's still plenty of reason to be here, to stick around, to watch them. But I'd really like to see them, if that's indeed who they want, unless the Penix thing was a bluff and they really like him.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say, you're really nervous. You're kind of tame. You're waiting. I feel like we haven't gotten a sports stat hot take yet, and I feel like the crowd would love to hear a hot take from the sports stat on what they should do here.
Sports dad can cook up a hot take. Just give me a little bit more time.
Okay, a little prep. Little meal prep.
Here's the thing. I'm digesting the football draft right now.
Okay.
Okay.
The grill's preheating, though. The grill's preheating.
God, yeah, of course it is.
Right.
But I'm digesting what is taking place right now. It's very fluid, and we didn't know what to expect. To Phil's point, it's more chalky than I expected.
Yeah. You know, it's been, we got John over here, the vice president / CEO of Skull Chant Operations. It's been like an hour since we've injected a Skull Chant into this room. So I think, John, if you could, just wait, what?
Whoa.
What?
Oh my God.
Hold on, John.
Hold on, John.
Hold that drum.
I almost feel like we should. No, this is legit, man. This is Jordan Schultz from
the
Atlanta Falcons with the 8th overall pick have selected quarterback Michael Penix.
You know, what's really funny about that is there were rumors coming out earlier this week, late last week, that they loved Michael Penix.
Yeah, I guess, dude.
But this is hilarious because they just signed Kirk to this huge contract that they can't get out of for 2 years, and by that point, Penix will be 26.
Hold on a second.
This is wild, dude.
I'm getting a call. It appears it's from Kirk Cousins. Kirk would like to know if you guys would like him back. I guess he doesn't like Atlanta now.
Okay, Mr. Troll.
Oh, God. This
is
incredible.
Dude.
That's what the Vikings wouldn't do for how long?
That is wild, man. Like, they literally just signed Kirk Cousins. What was the guarantee on that contract? $100 million? This draft is officially drunk, everybody.
Yeah.
This draft. Woo! And so are some of you. I see your eyes.
This is incredible.
What? But I don't even know how to process this. Like, I get it. Now, is it similar? The Packers a few years ago in the first round. Now, that wasn't a top 10 pick on Jordan Love. That was the 20. The Falcons just used a top 10 bleeping pick. On a successor to a guy they just signed for like $100 million guaranteed.
But here's the thing with Kirk. This was one of the things Kirk never wanted here.
Yeah, dude.
Like, they chased off a CFL quarterback because he said, I'd like to beat out
And this
Kirk
is
Cousins.
the first year of his extension of his new deal. That's wild.
And you guys named me one time where the incumbent quarterback has been happy. Aaron Rodgers was pissed. Brett Favre was pissed when Aaron was taken. So, like, this is never a succession plan of, hey, Kirk, we got a great idea.
Well, here's the thing.
The Achilles.
Nobody's ever done that when they just signed as a free agent on a multi-year deal.
Amen.
The Achilles, maybe. Hey. They need somebody to come in and play.
Hold on. Phil's going over to the Northern Fire Barbecue Supply hot take desk here. Purple Daily Draft Party, proudly supported by Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply. Elevate your grill game with Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply. Hit us now, Mackie.
Hi, my name is Phil Mackey, and I have a hot take here. It took the Atlanta Falcons 1 month to figure out what the Vikings needed 6 years to figure out. I was right all along.
Oh! Wow. Yeah, wave that flag. My arms are tired. All right. Not to be a complete buzzkill, but we're to pick 9 with the Bears. The Bears are open for business. This JJ McCarthy thing, we're still on the ledge, folks. We're still on the ledge here because the Bears want to trade this pick. So the question is, the Broncos and Raiders, do either of them, and you know what? I'm guessing the Bears, those cowardly Bears, wouldn't be too upset at taking the Vikings quarterback that they want and sending him to the AFC.
So should the Vikings do business with the Chicago Bears for now?
Do business with anybody. The whole idea of not trading within the division is a little antiquated. Kwesi has proven that multiple times.
True.
Look, if the Chargers want to take an extra 4th round pick to save a couple $1,000,000, yeah, they're going to do it. That's fine.
I think the Bears are going to take Rome Odunze here, and JJ McCarthy is going to fall right to 11 to the Vikings.
So you do think that they'll take? Okay, because
he's too. I think Rome Odunze is too good of a player to pass.
Okay,
hey, here's a question.
Bears could use another weapon for.
Watch for Byron Murphy too.
Hey, Matt in the front row brings up a fun question. We just saw the Falcons do it. What if the Jets snipe JJ McCarthy one pick before the Vikings?
I don't think they would do that, considering they are so all in with Aaron Rodgers.
Can you imagine Rodgers' take though? That I would. Well, I want McCarthy in Minnesota, but I still would love that entertainment.
Just
factor.
for the McAfee Tuesday show the week after.
Yeah.
And Forno, keep in mind the Atlanta Falcons just took Kirk Cousins' replacement after signing. I mean, what you're saying makes sense, but that pick to me throws what I think about this league into complete turmoil.
Yeah, but it's also Aaron Rodgers. You want that guy complaining about you every week on Pat McAfee?
How old is he now, though? And he's also coming off an Achilles. I mean, I don't know. I am really thrown.
Raheem Morris apparently loved Michael Penix. Yeah. Oh, is there dissension already between Raheem Morris and Kirk Cousins? That if Raheem Morris loved Michael Penix already,
Kirk won't take this well.
Inject it into my veins. I love it. Hey, before we fire back up here, and the Vikings are getting very close to being on the clock or trading up on the clock. A couple more shout-outs to some of our amazing partners here. I just put on the Crybaby Craig's hot sauce hat here because Crybaby Craig's is the preferred hot sauce of the Mackey family and of the Purple Daily crew. Proudly made right here in Minnesota, Crybaby Craig's habanero and garlic sauce is changing the hot sauce game one drop at a time. Spice up your game day with a bottle of Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. You can pick up bottles in any retailer that sells them. You can find them in restaurants all over the place, or you can go to crybabycraigs.com. Crybaby Craig's ballin' since 2012. Also, our friends at Nicolay Law are the exclusive personal injury law firm of Purple Daily. Nicolay Law knows that when you or a loved one gets injured, ordinary life can come to a stop. Things can get complicated. Insurance companies are likely to pressure you. But that's where Nicolay Law comes in to make sure you get the compensation you deserve after an accident. So if you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay. Start your path to winning at NicolayLaw.com. And a lot of you guys were at the Fulton Brewing pregame. Tommy Kramer was in the house there. So thanks to Fulton Brewing for supporting tonight's draft party. Just steps away from the Fillmore and Target Field and Target Center. Enjoy the draft tonight with a Fulton and all twin season long as well. Congrats to Fulton, too, on 10 years of brewing in Minnesota.
A pick is in.
Okay, we have a pick made by the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
With the 9th pick in the 2024 National Football League Draft, the Chicago Bears are selecting wide receiver Rome Odunze.
Hey, the Bears are loaded.
Dude.
If we're being honest, they're loaded.
I
They
know.
got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore,
Yep.
and now Rome Odunze. Oh, my. And
They got the
DeAndre Swift.
They got the potential to win this division now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Romo Dunze twice a year. I'm very sad.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's so good.
So incredible.
But how about the weapons? Like Miles was saying, though, now, too. I mean,
You have an X, you have a slot, you have a Z. You have a basketball team in that room.
And you have a running back and a good running back that can catch the ball to the backfield.
and do the Vikings have the corners to cover all of that?
Absolutely not.
I don't know if anyone does.
No, but they desperately need a left tackle. They don't have a good one.
Yeah.
And their right tackle can be beat easy with speed.
Jesse has.
Jesse. Where's Jesse
She's
at?
right there.
Front center.
Jesse in
Or
the
front
sea
left.
of people down in front of the stage here.
Very nice.
Guys, Guys, I'm getting nervous. I am getting nervous. If the Vikings botch this one, you will find me at the bar chugging a beer. I swear. I swear upon it. I can do that. Stephanie from Minnetonka, how are we feeling? First of all, Stephanie has a fit check for Mr. Judd. Steph, please.
Oh, a fit check.
Judd, you need to lower the hat.
Lower?
Well, the shadows, though, here kind of...
Lower the hat?
Nice.
How's that? Is that better?
It feels very Montana, boys.
I love
Hey
it,
guys, I apologize for interrupting,
Oh,
but I am getting breaking news. Breaking news.
Oh boy!
The Vikings are on the clock. Get the flag! All right. So we're still waiting for details here, but the Minnesota Vikings have traded into the 10 spot. It looks like a 4th-round pick. So
the Vikings didn't want to get jumped.
Yes.
They weren't willing to get jumped here.
That means that the Broncos, the Raiders were probably knocking on the door. So the Vikings and the Jets have swapped picks, and the Vikings are on the clock at 10. Let me ask you guys this. Is there a world in which this isn't JJ McCarthy? Tyler.
There obviously is a world where this isn't JJ McCarthy, but the only reason I think they would do that is if they wanted Roma Odunze and he's gone. Like, I think this has
Oh, you're saying the Vikings.
Yeah.
This guy,
pretty deep.
Byron Murphy's the only other name, or like a cornerback, Terrion Arnold. But like, if they were to like go through all of this and then just not take JJ McCarthy, the fan base might shut down. Like,
I mean, it's a non-zero chance, right? It's a non-zero chance.
So the Vikings are getting
Here it is. Here's the trade.
from the Jets 10 and 203. The Jets now get 11. The Vikings 129 and 157.
oh, so the Vikings kept 108 then, or whatever that pick is. So,
Yeah, they kept 108, 23, obviously. That's still kind of a steep price to go up one slot, but that's
okay
like the
I'm
Broncos.
okay with the
yeah.
Broncos.
They still get pick 23.
Yeah,
so
correct,
we'll
correct.
still have another pick tonight.
And if the Broncos
Maybe.
were on the horn with the Jets, this trade's fine. I'm fine with
this is no problem. And then the Jets can still get whoever they want at 11.
Yep.
Okay, Vikings are on the clock. Who wants the Vikings to draft JJ McCarthy? Wait though. There is another quarterback still out there. I mean,
Don't do that, Phil. Don't you do that.
I'm just.
Why would you do that to this
I'm
crowd?
exploring the options. There's a guy. There's a Bo Nix fan right here. I saw a guy clapping.
Hey, give me JJ McCarthy in the house, baby.
Hey, John, get the flag.
I'm going to get the flag when we get the pick, okay?
I already have it.
Hey,
Until then.
if the Vikings
do?
draft JJ
All right,
McCarthy,
okay.
if the Vikings draft JJ McCarthy, should Judd Zolgad crowd surf?
Hey, Phil. It's happening.
With the 10th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select quarterback JJ McCarthy. Get the flag! And with that, the Minnesota Vikings have their quarterback of the future. He is a Michigan man. He is a champion at every level. He's a born leader. And he has the same initials as the star wide receiver. I can't hear you. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right, how do we feel? JJ McCarthy. John. Oh, you got a hot take? Okay.
I got a hot take.
Okay. Judd over at the Northern Fire Barbecue and Grilling hot take desk.
NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year races over. It's Michigan's JJ McCarthy.
All right, John. Hey, I don't think there's been a better time in Vikings history for a skull chant. So if you could please do the honors here. That's right. There is a Crybaby Craig's costume on stage right now. This party is wild.
Wow.
5th quarterback off the board, man. And, by the way, still no...
Sock him. It's got the McCarthy jersey. Hey!
Let's go.
You guys are awesome.
This guy's got a JJ McCarthy jersey on right now. In fact, wait a second. Hold on.
What do you got here, Phil? Hold on.
I think we're gonna.
Hold on.
I think it's gonna be an unveiling of sorts.
Wait, hold on.
I think.
I thought we had a hot take.
No. I think it's an unveiling of sorts.
Okay.
Hold on, sir. I'm gonna take a picture of your JJ McCarthy jersey. Turn around so I can get a picture of that. That is awesome. Wearing the number of our buddy Tommy Kramer right there. Number 9. That is a great jersey. There he is. Oh, yeah.
We now have the Vikings' first ever top 10 quarterback pick.
Oh, it is 10. You're right. Sorry, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, because they traded up into 10.
Yep.
By the way, your official JJ to JJ merchandise before the end of the night will be available in the Score North shop. So how do we feel? Oh, by the way, I think it's available now. Scan the QR code on your YouTube channel right now or in the building for your official JJ to JJ merchandise. We should put the Bo Nix ones up there too.
I feel very good about this. I love the fact...
You're not anxious anymore?
I'm not anxious anymore because I love the fact that they did what they had to do, which was they traded up so they didn't get jumped. I don't care what the price was. The price clearly was far lower than we initially expected.
Yeah.
I think this is a winning move. I think, the Atlanta Falcons did them, in my opinion, a tremendous favor. A tremendous favor. And how about this? The Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
The Atlanta Falcons helped the Vikings because they took the quarterback I think was 4th on their board. And at the same time, I'm sure that right now they managed to piss off the entire Cousins family. How about that?
That's not going to sit well, right?
We also can thank the Falcons for taking Kirk Cousins too. So that helped us get JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
But then they did the thing that the Vikings would never do to Kirk. I mean, this is, to me, I love what the Vikings just did, but Miles, to me, this is the story of the draft right now. And it's a tremendous bonus that the Vikings had that somebody step in front of them for Penix. And Penix might be fine. I got no clue. I'm just so fascinated by this move.
Guys, we did set an NFL record tonight. This is the first time in NFL history that 5 quarterbacks went in the top 10.
Wow.
Only the third time ever that 4 quarterbacks have been in the top 10.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Holy cow.
That is wild, man. And we will keep you guys posted on the following picks because the Vikings still have another first-round pick tonight. But let's go down to Jesse Pierce. We'd love some crowd reaction. We can turn this into a Vikings vent line here, too. So, Jesse Pierce, who are you with right now?
Well, as you can tell, I think we're all pretty freaking excited about JJ, right? Let's hear it one more time. JJ McCarthy, guys. So, a successful draft so far, plus the Minnesota Vikings get their other pick in the first round. What are you going with at 23?
We have to go defensive line at 23. First and foremost, I hated on Kwesi for a long time, but Kwesi is cooking tonight. Let's go, Vikings!
Kwesi! Cooking!
We're getting some no's, though. We're not liking that choice. What are you going with the next Vikings slide?
We need to run that defense. Give me an edge. Give me a corner all day. Perfect draft if we do that. Easy.
Wow.
All right. Those are some opinions down here on the floor, boys. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Jesse Pierce. So, yeah, now, I mean, this is, by the way, we have a pick in here. We'll keep you guys posted on the picks. With the 11th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select offensive tackle Olu Fashanu. All right. And now with the 12th pick on the clock are the Denver Broncos, who are, I guess they could go Bo Nix.
I think they're going to go Bo Nix.
How would you guys feel if longtime Vikings nemesis Sean Payton got stuck with Bo Nix? That was a cheap pop.
Hell, that's fine.
The guy that clowned us, who thought he was going to beat the Vikings here and mock the Skull chant, and then got his butt handed to him by the Stephon Diggs Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go back to JJ McCarthy here. Let's flesh this all out. I love this. I love it because I think JJ McCarthy has potential to be a great quarterback. I love it because they didn't give up the 23 or next year's first.
Yep.
And I love it because he can sit behind Sam Darnold for a full year. And when he does come in, he's got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison.
Yep.
2 of the best tackles in the NFL.
Hey, for Tyler and Miles, how long do you think, to Phil's point, McCarthy sits? Because my observation was that Maye, for as good as he's going to be or should be, probably needed more time for O'Connell to work with him. What is your assessment of how much time McCarthy needs to percolate on the bench potentially before he does play a game?
I'm going to say the same thing I said on Purple Daily on Draft on Monday. I don't know how much time he needs. You're going to know with mini camp, rookie camp, training camp. He's going to tell you how much time he needs based on how he plays during those situations, how he approaches practice, how his teammates respond to him. He could sit, I don't know, a week. He could start week 1. He could sit 2 years. We don't know that yet. And I do think with what his mental makeup appears to be from the outside looking in, if you were to put him in week 1, it would not be a disaster. And he would be able to grow and adapt, especially when you watch games early this year against Bowling Green. He treated those weeks 1, 2, and 3 games as preseason games. He threw some picks. He had the majority of his turnover-worthy plays because he was trying to figure out what he could and couldn't get away with. In the NFL, you're going to have preseason for that. So he may be able to start week 1. We just aren't going to know until he actually gets here.
Okay.
My whole thing is that you should never have to start a rookie quarterback. So the Vikings brought in Sam Darnold because they don't have to start any rookie quarterback. And if JJ McCarthy comes in and decides, I'm going to take this job from you, and he's ready to do it, I've never had any issue with a rookie quarterback starting week 1. Just make sure you feel he's ready to.
Yeah, I think they have the luxury of not having to. But then there's cases where, 12 years ago, the Seahawks drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round with no intention of starting him week 1. They signed Matt Flynn as a priority free agent quarterback, but sometimes a young guy gets in and impresses in training camp.
But how quickly, when Sam Darnold throws a pick, will fans or us, people like us, be saying, get the rookie and let's see JJ throw to JJ?
Training camp.
Training camp.
He'll throw a training camp practice picking Egan, and we'll be like, you got to make the change now, don't you, Kevin?
Yeah. Hey, Forno, you break down a ton of film. My question is, the small samples in the small sample size for JJ McCarthy, which is the knock, right? Like we need to see more of it. He played with a lead all the time. What percentage of what you saw in the small sample is NFL Sunday stuff?
A lot of it. A lot of it's NFL Sunday stuff. And one of the interesting things is he played in a very pro-style offense. So a lot of that footwork stuff we talked about with Drake Maye, he's already going to have down.
Yeah.
He's already going to understand that you need to take a 7-step drop in a certain way at a certain angle to be able to hit this dig route 15 yards down the field. He's going to have that kind of stuff. He's going to understand how to utilize play action. He's going to understand how to do bootlegs. A lot of just the basic stuff that you have to teach a guy that played in the air raid, which isn't a problem. But when you have that kind of step up, it's going to make that transition significantly easier, especially under center. Guys in college don't play under center anymore because there's the spacing rules are so different because the hash marks are twice as wide and you can take advantage of people that way. So having that for JJ McCarthy is going to make his pro transition theoretically easier.
Yeah. Someone just bought Declan a beverage here. Which
They're
is great.
feeding Declan booze.
Feed Declan more. Feed Declan more.
We got a party going on here.
So just to reset this now, we're on the 12th overall pick. The Vikings are sitting at 23. I do wonder, like, right now they don't have a day 2 pick.
Right.
And they, is it possible they could trade back, pick up an extra day 2 pick?
But they got...
Maybe the first pick was, hey, KOC, you tell me which quarterback. I get to decide then at 23 whether we trade back and get some extra draft capital. I could see a trade back. Maybe you stay in the first round and then pick up like an extra 3rd-round pick or something. I could see that.
It depends on what you believe about that trade with the Texans, because the reports were that it was the Texans actually that approached the Vikings, and the Vikings weren't nearly as proactive as we thought.
Yeah.
So with all of that being said, I don't know. And if you can get a good defensive player at 23, I am really tempted.
Yeah. Okay. The Denver Broncos pick is in. With the 12th overall pick in the 2024 National Football League Draft.
Oh, juicy.
The Denver Broncos select quarterback Bo Nix.
Thank you, Sean Payton.
Listen, we laugh, and everybody in this room knows how much I don't like Bo Nix. If there was one guy who could maximize Bo Nix, it's Sean Payton.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bo Nix reminds me of like 2020 Drew Brees, where the arm is just gone, but he was still able to do a lot of positive things and make things easy for him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like Bo Nix, but it might actually work in Denver.
But this tells you that the Broncos were trying to go up to 10 to get JJ McCarthy.
Easily.
That's what it feels like to me. Like,
I agree.
Because that means that they don't feel they can wait till the 2nd round. I don't think the Broncos even have a 2nd-round pick. And Michael Penix just got taken. So all these teams feel like, well, if we either take him or we're not going to get a chance.
This feels a little panicky. Like,
oh, yeah.
This was what I feared for the Vikings.
This is Christian Ponder.
This is what I feared for the Vikings. And I believe if you go back and look at Sean Payton's history, which, by the way, he's been really good with quarterbacks. I don't think he's ever had a rookie quarterback starting.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to put up with the type of mistakes that, like when he got Drew Brees, you never got from Drew Brees. So, yeah, this is where the Broncos just basically are an example to me of what I thought was the Vikings' nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, but this played out so perfectly for the Vikings that they get a guy that we talked about. I mean, at one point, there were conversations about, would you have to get up to like 3 to get JJ McCarthy? Or up to like 4 or 5, and you wind up getting him 10th, and you get to keep your 23rd overall pick. This is playing out about as perfectly as it possibly could for the Vikings, minus like a trade up for Drake Maye.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, how would you guys have felt if we flipped this around? The Falcons had taken JJ McCarthy, and the Vikings took Penix, who none of us hated.
Right.
But I don't know exactly why, but I feel much better about this than I would if it was Atlanta takes McCarthy, Minnesota takes Penix.
Well, I think the intel would be that Kwesi liked McCarthy way more than Penix and wouldn't be willing to trade up to get him. I definitely trust Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi. If that's been their guy, JJ McCarthy's been their guy, then they're probably in the right to say we're not going to go up and try to get Penix. We actually like McCarthy. We'll call not Falcons bluff, but we'll let the Falcons make the mistake in front of us,
Sure.
and then you reap the benefits of JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. By the way, I've got more anonymous scouts and executives on JJ McCarthy. This is like before the draft process, obviously, or during it. I love some of this stuff, man. This is from an AFC coach who went to the pro days of both JJ McCarthy and Caleb Williams. JJ's got more arm than I thought. What I saw on tape, it was pretty impressive. Every ball wasn't on the face mask, but he compared the balls that JJ was throwing to what Caleb Williams was throwing. Spiral is tight, rotation is there, drove the ball down the field more than Caleb Williams did. That's just one AFC coach.
I love driving the ball down the field. You got to drive the ball down the field.
AFC scouting director. His pro day was ridiculous. He's a super athlete, a really efficient thrower. I like his skill set. Yes. Better athlete is what people are saying, too.
Let's not forget, too, that it was our guy, the Scoopmeister, Darren Doogie Wolfson, who months ago during the season turned us on to McCarthy as a very viable option.
Yeah.
The pro days.
Duke said that. Well, and going back to the game here.
Like in the fall.
In the
fall, not the pro days, sorry, yeah.
When Michigan played here at Huntington Bank Stadium, and Doogie's point was every decision maker, every key one except for O'Connell was at that game. So he did a hell of a job there.
Oh, wait. Miles is going to the Northern Fire Barbecue Grilling Hot Takes desk here. You can win that. You can win that smoker, by the way.
My wife's going to try to win this, by the way. So shout out to my kids, Isaiah, Lake, and my wife, Catherine. They're going to try to win this for me.
All right.
Yeah, you can check it out over at scorenorth.com/draft party.
If the Vikings don't trade pick 23, they're taking a cornerback.
Okay. A cornerback?
Yeah. Quinion Mitchell, Terry Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Kool-Aid.
Give me one of those three. That's what I think they're going to go after. I think they want a corner.
I think, cornerback would be a nice job. Thank you, Miles.
Thank you, Miles.
Yep, appreciate you. I think it would be kind of like how many times have they drafted a cornerback in the first round? But they do need some sort of cornerback help beyond what they have right now.
I mean, surveying the room, if they took a cornerback at 23, our reaction would be mixed.
Kind of
a little mixed.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to top taking a quarterback with the 10th overall pick. It's like, what do you want to meat and potatoes interior defensive lineman, which is what I want.
But is there a cornerback named Chop? We have to answer that question.
Dude.
Kool-Aid's pretty good, though.
Kool-Aid's
like
a great
Kool-Aid's
name.
very,
I love
very.
Kool-Aid, so I'm good with that.
Kool-Aid's a phenomenal name, but you don't Chop.
But to Miles' point, here's why I think he might be exactly right. What the Bears have done scares you more now. Like and look, the Green Bay Packers once drafted, I think their top 3 picks in the '99 draft were all 6 foot or taller corners and one safety
to counter
Moss.
Yeah.
So like if you're looking at the Bears right now, with what they have, I would not be surprised. I would love to see the Vikings get a big guy, a big defensive tackle. But that being said, Miles' logic makes a lot of sense because the Bears are really dangerous now. And to my question and how you guys responded before, the issue right now is you have no confidence that the Vikings secondary can cover what the Bears are going to throw at you.
I'd love to throw it out, Dex, if I'm overstepping here, let me know. But we have just under 10,000 people currently watching on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. We'd love to open up the vent lines on that platform too. So if you want to, is it VikingsVentline@gmail.com, right?
That is correct.
It's been a few months. VikingsVentline@gmail.com. Send a request and we can get some people in. If you weren't able to come to the Fillmore tonight, we'd love to still hear from you as you consume the draft from your home or wherever you are. And also, let's turn this crowd into a Vikings vent line, too. Is Jessie somewhere?
She's right in front
She's
of us.
always waiting, lurking. Okay, there we go.
Stop lurking, Jessie.
Working so hard for you guys. We're still feeling good down here. A lot of people are excited. We have some thoughts. Since we're talking vent line, what are our thoughts?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jason.
Chief meme officer in the house.
Let's go.
That's right.
Jason, our chief meme officer.
Right.
Let's go.
Got 2 thoughts. One, shout out to my boy Thor Nystrom because the Broncos just drafted Christian Ponder.
Yeah.
And 2, sorry, Dex, but the best here in Minnesota now goes to JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, that's not wrong. That's not wrong at all.
It's not wrong. No, it's not. It's looking sharp, but it's not wrong.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Let's if there's a line of people that would like to line up for
All
vent
right,
line
boys,
here.
get in line. We got thoughts.
Vikings vent line live from the Fillmore. Feel free to jump in there with Jesse Pierce. Tell us your name and where you're from too.
I just want to say shout out JJ McCarthy and Wolves in 4. Run that shit.
Wolves in 4, baby.
Wait,
Let's go.
Can we get a Wolves in 4 chant or?
Wolves in 4. Wolves in 4.
Wolves in 4. Wolves in
4. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Amazing.
So every player picked has been offense. Get on the phone and go get Dallas Turner.
Oh, trade up. Trade up. Yeah. I mean, there's some edges out there right now.
Wait. Was that my brother?
Yeah,
No.
That's me.
No.
That's your little brother.
Yeah, you should know better. It's Chop.
Chop. Yes. I mean, at 23 maybe, but you could go get Dallas Turner.
Second round grade. I'm good.
2 4-0s. We love that.
Hey,
we love that.
Real quick, with the 13th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders are taking tight end Brock Bowers.
That's not a bad pick.
He's a great player.
He's very good. Yeah.
They just took Michael Mayer last year in the second round, so that's a little surprising.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, back
Probably a 12
to
personnel base.
back to Jesse on the floor here for some Vikings Vent Line.
What's going on, boys? I'm Colin. I'm actually from Haines City, Florida. I've been on your show a few times.
Nice, dude. Nice. Thanks for making the
Came up
trip.
for this draft party, and we got our quarterback. I think we need to get Tavondre Sweat. That's the other player that I really want to see late.
Okay.
We passed on Jordan Davis 2 years ago. We need to get the big guy in the middle.
So over to the Purple Daily on draft section here. So Tavondre Sweat, DUI, right? He's DUI guy. So
DWI.
DWI. Okay, something you probably shouldn't be doing ever, let alone the first few weeks after the combine. If that hadn't happened, what's his value? Where does he go?
Probably second round. The one interesting
Fourth
thing as he brings up is, Tavondre Sweat's a nose tackle. But the fascinating thing about Texas is they didn't use him as a nose tackle.
Yeah.
He used a 3 technique because Byron Murphy II handled double teams significantly better than Tavondre Sweat. Sweat doesn't sense the double team well, but he is a massive man and he can't be moved. So even if he doesn't sense the double team well, it's hard to move him out of place. So I think if he's available on a way to jump on him, but because of the off the field stuff, and even before the DWI, which he got after Sunday brunch, apparently.
Yeah, it was like a 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
dude,
he had 1 or 2 too many mimosas.
Mimosas,
but-
they
Those
get you.
bottomless mimosas get, I mean, come on.
They get you every time.
Just take an Uber.
How many did that man
true.
have to drink to get drunk, though?
seven pitchers.
As a man who's only a little bit smaller than Tavondre Sweat, it's probably like 8 or 9. Let's be real here.
For me, though, I always had him as like a 4th round grade. I have a hard time with a guy that's a two down player. You probably only get 500, 600 snaps at most for a guy that big. So you're only getting so much value out of that. So I wouldn't take that very high.
This brings up an interesting question, though. Should the Vikings consider right now trying to trade up because the defensive talent on the board is endless right now?
But that's why they maybe shouldn't try to trade up because the defensive talent is
Right, supply and demand, Judd. Supply and demand. Let the talent.
I didn't know if there might be one that's going to get taken.
But that's why Kwesi's probably going to trade back.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's a good
It
point.
is why. I mean, there's
Touche.
projected to be like 21 offensive players drafted in the first round.
Well, look at
Be a record.
Have we seen any defenders go yet?
No,
we haven't seen any, right?
No, zero.
No, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, they could get a top 5 defensive player in the draft at 23 at this point.
Which speaks to where this league has gone.
Yep.
As far as the priority has jumped the shark now so much.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why it always felt weird, the Vikings taking a defender early and then trying to get a quarterback later.
Yes, I agree.
Obviously, they wouldn't have been able to do it at this point, but it's working out really perfectly for the Vikings.
Yeah. Okay, back to Jessie Pierce here. She's hosting Vikings Vent Line inside the Fillmore.
We got some more conversation from Florida. What do we got?
Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine who is a fan of the Vikings in London named Andy. He wanted me to give this to you guys. It's a flag from the game that they played overseas when they played the Steelers. He wanted to see if you guys would put it up in your background from about 11 years ago.
100%.
So it's a gift for you guys.
You can make your way up here at some
Always.
point.
We've always got gifts. We love the gifts. Thank you to whoever brought me this.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
Hey, also, like 2 more shout outs because it's fun just meeting everyone here and putting faces to names and listeners. Mike J is getting married in November and is celebrating his bachelor party here tonight.
Woo!
I don't know if they're still here, if they took off. But Mike was here hanging out, celebrating his bachelor party.
I think that's them up there.
I can't even see with the lights here. Okay,
It-
yeah.
the
There we
Boss
go.
jersey,
There we
that's
go.
it.
I love it. I know John Swanson, his brother Mike are here. They made the trip here. So it's a blast just meeting all you guys. We appreciate you. Okay, back to Vikings vent line here.
All right, what's your name and where are you from?
David from Minneapolis. Long time, not first time. I made a prediction in 2021 on the Purple Daily that the Wolves would win before the Vikings.
We still got that one in the
so
database.
Write it down. The Wolves will win the LOB this year. Vikings will win the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
Let's go!
Nas Reed.
Nas Reed. 2 words.
Need our flagrant house flag. Love it, dude. Yeah, let's keep Ventline rocking here.
All right, what's your name and where are you from?
Marshall Bergner, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. So I had a prediction earlier this year saying that we would trade up to the top 5 for a quarterback. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but I'll shout out my main man, Jack Knotts over here. He said he wanted JJ McCarthy. I'll take that at 10. Let's go!
Let's go. Yes. Love it, man. Yeah, Dex.
All right, anybody else? We got more?
Real quick here. Let's actually go to the YouTube audience here. Declan's got some people in the YouTube green room that are outside of the Fillmore, but still massive Vikings fans we'd like to hear from.
All right, let's go to Alex. Alex is joining us on YouTube. What's up, Alex?
Alex.
Hey, guys. First off, I want to say I love the JJ pick. I got an uncle who was a Packers fan, and he thought we weren't going to get him. But I told him before the draft even started, JJ was coming to Minnesota.
So you're in on it. You're in on it.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Heck yeah, Alex.
And
Great
I also
stuff.
think Wolves are going to win it in 4.
Oh,
Very nice. Little Wolves in 4.
Love
Okay.
it. Thank you, Alex.
Let's go, man. Alex, let's keep it going. Let's see who else we got in the YouTube waiting room here, Dex.
All right, let's go to Will next. What's up, Will?
How's it going, you guys? Love the show. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this pick. I'm so glad we got JJ. I'm a little happier that the Broncos picked Bo Nix. That's going to be fun to watch. Broncos country, let's ride. Let's get a weapon at 23. I'm excited to see how this plays out. Kwesi, he's cooking. What can I say?
Amen, dude.
Definitely cooked tonight.
Thanks for watching. By the way, we do have another pick in where the New Orleans Saints with the 14th pick, yes, in the NFL draft, have selected offensive tackle Talise Fuaga. Talise Fuaga to the Saints. So now the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock with the 15th pick. The Vikings are 8 picks away from being on the clock.
So we've got 3 tackles now, correct? 3 tackles have gone?
Yeah, well, Fuaga, it's 5. Olu Fashanu,
Okay.
or 4, it's 4.
4?
Olu
4
Fashanu, Joe Alt, and then
And we still
Latham, right?
And 2 wide receivers.
And we still have no defensive players taken.
Adunze went, right? Malik Neighbors, and then Marvin Harrison. Yeah.
3. Yep.
Yeah.
But still no defensive players.
It's hard for us to keep full track when we're running around waving a giant flag celebrating the Vikings
We'll
drafting
figure it out.
a quarterback here. So, man, what a vibe, man. Like, the energy in this room, and we can feel it too coming across the YouTube comments and social media. We're monitoring Twitter here as much as we can. This is a historic night in Vikings history. Hopefully for the right reasons, right? Hopefully you're playing back the celebration of JJ McCarthy's draft pick, and he's the quarterback for 10 years.
The great thing about this is it's a fresh start as well. Like this now feels like the Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell era really beginning.
Yeah.
This feels like a transition. And look, with the right quarterback coach in place, with everything now in place that this team has from an infrastructure standpoint, it feels like a chapter has been turned on Vikings football.
Okay, Forno is at the hot takes desk here, the Northern Fire Barbecue and Grilling Smoking Hot Takes microphone.
Yes, I am. And I want to point out, as much as I love Chop Robinson, think he's a top 5 player in this class, I do think that the Vikings should seriously consider taking a wide receiver at 23.
Whoa!
All right. Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
3 deep.
That you have Brian Flores, who took a very subpar roster to an average defense. You need to help JJ McCarthy be as great as possible. You might not have TJ Hawkinson for the entirety of 2024. Get another weapon where Kevin O'Connell really loves to utilize 11 personnel. I want Adonai Mitchell from the University of Texas. Get a traditional X, an actual deep threat. Yeah, Addison and Jefferson can go deep. They're not a traditional deep threat. Get a guy with size, and let's actually recreate some level of
3 deep. 3 deep. Let's go.
3 deep. 3 deep. 3 deep.
I love it, dude.
I'm sorry. I got to go with Miles here. I got to take a corner. I got to stop the Bears.
No, dude. I'm with Tyler on this one. I know we should probably eat some broccoli.
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, let's slow the opponents down. You know, Brian Flores here, he did a hell of a job. He's really good. But damn it, he's not a miracle worker. He needs another corner.
Yeah, well, but there's some defensive, there's some edge rushers, there's some defensive tackles out there.
I think this team needs to take defense.
I would. This is not a hot take. It's more of like a Buzz Killington take. I would look to trade if you're going to go defense. I would look to trade back, pick up an extra second or third round pick, depending on sort of where you're going here. We've got the defense LED screen going here.
It would be more fun for purposes of the stream that we're going to do tomorrow night if they got back into the second or third round too. So,
but we're gonna at this point we're gonna do programming note. Couple things. We will do we're gonna be doing 2 live streams tomorrow. 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time, Feedback Friday with our guy Thor Nystrom.
Yep.
And then 6 p.m. whether they have a pick or not. 6 p.m. again on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. But also, just down the street here over at 3 Jack, for people that maybe haven't heard yet, we're going to do, it's not going to be for podcasts, but the 3 of us are going to be hanging out at 3 Jack in the North Loop in Minneapolis. Yes, the Sports Dad will be there.
Sports Dad's going to be there.
From 3 to 5 o'clock, just recapping this first round. So you can check it out. We do, by the way, ask that you register for that at scorenorth.com/happy hour. Scorenorth.com/happy hour. It's a free cover. But there is a 200-person limit, I think we're getting a little bit closer to that. So, yeah, guys, a couple other shout-outs here, too, while we wait for the next pick, and we climb closer to the Vikings back on the clock at 23. Man, our friends at Popcorn are sponsoring the flags here tonight. They've got the Popcorn Justin Jefferson tins. You can check them out. Ridiculously delicious gourmet popcorn and fudge. Check them out at popcorn.com. And Fulton Brewing, man, celebrating 10 years of brewing in Minnesota. A lot of you were at the pregame party. Tommy Kramer was hanging out there. Our friends at Fulton with the Lonely Blonde, all sorts of other amazing, delicious beers, and a great menu, by the way, too. And Element Hotel. Thanks to Element Hotel for their high-quality shelter of many of you that are responsibly staying overnight here in Minneapolis. If you're checking out a Twins game this season, a Wolves playoff game, you can go to Marriott.com and search Element Minneapolis, Judd.
I think Jesse Pierce has some more reaction out there as we continue our event line from the fans. Jesse, who you got out there with you?
Well, first of all, I did have a young gentleman who was wearing a JJ McCarthy number 9 Vikings jersey, so shout out to him. I hope he comes back here.
Yeah.
But otherwise, for Ventline, what's your name and where are you from?
Nico, and I'm from Maplewood, Minnesota.
What's up, Nico?
What are our thoughts so far?
Well, now that we got our quarterback of the future, we can listen to Mike Tice and calm down and enjoy the season. Let's go, Vikes.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Welcome. Anybody else? Again, Ventline open right now. Come find me. All right, what do we got? What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Andrew from Stillwater, and I cannot believe we kept the 23 and got our guy. It's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah,
Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
All right, guys, I called him out. He found me. Let's turn around and see this beautiful McCarthy jersey. Let's go this way.
This is amazing, man.
I tweeted this out already.
Did you get these custom made for all of the quarterbacks available?
How many jerseys
Is there
were you
you have a
wearing?
Michael Penix jersey?
Yeah, was this the only one made, or did you have other ones made
Penix.
just in case?
The only one. I'm from Chicago. He's from LaGrange Park, so that's my guy.
Guys, so how excited are you right now?
What's that?
How excited are you right now?
I think he's the franchise quarterback. All he does is win. He goes up against the best competition. OSU, no problem. Alabama, no problem. Super Bowl, no problem.
Wow.
Super Bowl, no problem, ladies and gentlemen. All right, what's your name? What's your take?
Joey. I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh, we got one, guys. We got one. He's in the right colors.
He's
We
a
love
plant.
it.
He's a plant.
I don't like Green Bay.
Nice.
It's a deep fake.
What's your hot take right now?
I don't got a hot take. I'm just hoping for chop.
Chop Robinson fans.
Spoken like a
More chop love.
man after Tyler's heart.
We love that. Porno, how do you feel about that? We got more chop love.
I love chop. Give me chop.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
The Indianapolis Colts pick is in. And with the 15th pick in the 2024 National Football League Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select edge rusher Laiatu Latu from UCLA.
Interesting.
Good player. We got some defensive players coming off the board here.
Some medical problems, though, right? I mean, that's been his biggest thing.
Yeah. So he was forced to medically retire at Washington due to a neck injury. The latest reports that I had heard were there were a couple teams that had red flagged him, which means he's completely off the board.
Yep.
Some yellow flagged him, which means, hey, we're concerned, so we're there's a spot where we'll take him.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams passed him. Neck injuries, especially in the world of professional wrestling, are very fickle.
Yeah.
Like you can have like a triple fusion like Adam Copeland and be just fine and be able to wrestle. You can have one vertebrae break and you're paralyzed forever. So it's a very delicate injury, but if you're comfortable with it based on what you see, Latu's the best technical pass rusher in this draft, and it's not close.
Yeah.
That's a lot to be confident about, though. That would make me really, really nervous if I'm a Colts fan, you guys.
All right, Dex, where should we go here now?
Let's go back to the vent line crowd here on YouTube, I should say. We'll go to the YouTube crowd. We'll go to Christian. Remember when our guy Christian came on and he said his family was going to come up here? He had to fly.
Yes.
So our
Christian.
guy Christian is here now.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you guys?
What's going on, dude?
I survived. I'm here in Jacksonville, like you guys know. My family left, so they left earlier after the pick itself. But they had a blast. They're like 15 people deep. I'm happy. I watched you guys here on YouTube. You guys went live. I'm at the bar here in the B-Dubs. There are a couple of Vikings fans that we got together. We started crying when JJ got picked. So, I've been watching you guys. I'm happy for you guys. Had a lot of fun. From here, from Jacksonville, from Puerto Rico. Thank you guys for keeping me here. And hopefully we get a Super Bowl soon.
Love it, man. Christian, dude. Yep.
Cheers
Thank
to
you,
you,
buddy.
too.
Let's keep it going here on the YouTube side if we have some more people in.
Yeah, we do. Let's go to Lenny. Lenny, what's up, buddy?
Lenny.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? I'm excited about the pick. I'm happy we didn't trade the farm. We still have 23. We still got one next year. So if this year's a bad year, we still have a good pick in the first round. I love having the 23. I only think there's going to be about 9 defenders picked in the first round overall. So I think we're going to get a top-notch, top-tier defender. I don't care if it's D-tackle, cornerback, defensive end. I think all three are great positions. So
love it, man.
Hell yeah, Lenny.
Lenny, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you. Where do you want to go now?
Let's go to one more here. Let's go to Jonah. Jonah, what's up, buddy? You're on vent line.
Hey guys, what's up? About
Hey, Jonah.
the JJ McCarthy. I'm hoping that JJ McCarthy is going to be our pick, and just
So we're kind of losing Jonah, but it sounds like he loves the JJ McCarthy pick. Yeah,
he does love it.
Yeah,
he's our gal JP. We got a young fan here. We got 2 young fans
We
for
got
vent
some
line
young
here.
guys. We talk about before we die, you guys. These guys might have an actual shot at least living out that dream. What's your name? Where are you from?
Carter from Wyzetta.
Yeah, what's
Jordan
up, Carter?
from Wyzetta.
Jordan and Carter.
All right, what do we think of Carter and Jordan?
We're super excited that we got JJ McCarthy, and we want a Super Bowl before we die. Let's go.
Yeah, Carter! Let's go, dude.
Love it.
Go. I love it, boy.
Hey, Carter and Jordan. Do you think you guys could help us get a skull chant going here?
Yeah.
You think so? All right, John, our senior director of skull chant operations here. Let's get one started here, boys.
Skull. 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 Skull.
Let's go.
Nice work, guys.
Awesome, guys. Awesome, guys.
Boys, I'm going to keep moving through the crowd.
Yeah,
here.
Vikings vent line here.
What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Glenn from River Falls.
Got another one, another Wisconsin.
Nah, he's close enough. Doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's close enough.
I just want to say to Kevin O'Connell, JJ from day one. That's what we want to see, and we want to hear Paul Allen say, JJ to JJ, and he's loose.
Let's go.
Oh,
Hey, Phil,
yada.
do you want to hear something funny?
Always, yes.
The Falcons didn't let Kirk Cousins know they were taking a quarterback until
No.
they were turning in the pick.
Yes!
Oh, no.
No, hey, I got it. So Jane Slater from NFL Network said, as we all sit in shock over the Atlanta pick, a source tells me Kirk Cousins just as shocked and disappointed. Never said anything to him or his reps about a QB in the first, despite suggesting they would.
Oh my
Still,
God, man.
it's a business.
Dude.
Diana Rossini refuted that a little bit. Apparently, Kirk knew it was a possibility that they could take a quarterback, but shocked it was in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Well, and Penix, because he was projected at so many mocks to go like in the second round, Kirk probably thought the worst case, they'll take him like second round, and then they take him 8th overall. This is just delicious.
That's
We
wild.
have a real QB battle in Atlanta now, huh?
Oh, my God.
I mean, you think about, like, I don't want this to turn into like a Kirk Cousins vent line, but that is wild. The Falcons drafted a quarterback 8th overall after signing him to that contract. Does that be like, did they get a weird vibe from him in the last month and a half since they made the signing? Like, it's super weird that they would make that pick at number 8.
I heard they went back and listened to some old Purple Daily episodes. And
Yeah.
Those guys seem to make some
Well,
pretty
you know
good
what's
points.
interesting? You know what's if you juxtapose the Kirk Cousins resume going back to high school with the McCarthy, look at the amount of winning that took place.
Oh,
When it
yeah.
Kirk
Kirk won an Outback Bowl one time, and that's like.
And JJ McCarthy starting in high just won.
And I know that there's like obviously having the Michigan infrastructure versus Michigan State, which was a good team, not great. There's some of that, but there is like a winning DNA that matters with quarterbacks, a leadership DNA,
No question.
And Kirk had a little bit of. He was a likable enough guy, but he was never checking those boxes at the level that Brady or Mahomes or some of these other quarterbacks.
Okay, a programming note for the audience. The biggest JJ McCarthy fan in the world, Thor Nystrom, will be joining us on YouTube in the next coming minutes, by the way. He'll be joining us via YouTube in the next few minutes.
Is Thor crying
I
currently?
I just got a text. I could maybe see some tears through those.
I thought he might have a
those
box
texts.
of Kleenex.
Yeah.
Just sobbing uncontrollably.
Yeah, this is definitely the happiest Thor has been probably in his 3.5 decades on Earth.
The man who basically drove this guy's stock.
He went on that rant on our show that went viral like 2 months ago, and all of a sudden, like the bookmakers adjusted. Okay, back to Jesse Pierce on the floor here at the Fillmore with some Vikings vent line.
All right, we're excited for this one. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Justin. I'm from Waverly, Iowa. I kind of was hoping I'd get to have a bit of a Kevin Costner draft day moment tonight. I had Drake May no matter what, but we're done with that. We're going with JJ McCarthy. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's go. We
I want my
love
picks
it.
back.
I want my picks
I want
back.
my picks back.
All right, what's your name and where are you from?
My name's Rachel. I'm from Otsego, Minnesota. And I just wanted to say last year, I said KOC was going to be the head coach that brought us to the Super Bowl. I called it last year. I feel even better about it now. Let's go.
Let's go Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
You should feel good about that now. Yes.
We can't have Jesse here and not talk about hockey, though.
Oh.
I have one hot take. Faber for Calder.
Faber per
There
Calder,
we go.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that
Brock
should
Mayer,
happen.
Rookie of the Year.
That-
Faber per Calder, we love that.
That should
Hey,
happen.
hey,
I agree.
real quick here, because we're keep people posted. The Seattle Seahawks pick is in at 16, so we're getting closer to the Vikings here. And with the 16th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, this one stings a little bit for me. The Seahawks take defensive tackle Byron Murphy II. Possible Vikings target there, possible off the board,
Yeah,
right?
Interesting pick for Seattle because they have a really good interior defensive line, especially because they just paid Leonard Williams a big contract. But
Yeah.
man, you get him in situations where he can be a gap shooter, and he can play nose at 309 pounds.
Talk to me. Talk to me about the meat and potatoes. But you know what? This is what I was saying is I think this is the type of guy that if you were like, we have a chance to get him, you have to trade up.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't sting to me because
that's fine.
He wasn't going to fall 23.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Jesse Pierce in a sea of humanity here.
Loving
Vikings
this jacket,
Vent Line.
by the way. Loving it. Sharp as ever.
Oh,
What's your name
God.
and where are you from?
I'm Judah, and I just flew in from Seattle this morning.
Oh, dude, let's go.
Thank you.
Yeah, where in Seattle?
Tacoma.
Okay, right on, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So I think with the second first-round pick, we're probably going to trade back. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think
and
you're right.
probably pick the best defensive player available, or punter Tory Taylor.
On day 3.
Get out.
On day 3.
Get out. Get out.
You flew all that way.
I'm in at some point on Tory Taylor, but not in the first round.
So if they were to trade back, Forno, from 23, where would be the logical spot you think they would trade back from 23 to go back still in the first round a little bit?
I don't really know if there is technically a logical spot, but I will say the San Francisco 49ers were trying to package either Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk to move up. They wanted one of those top wide receivers. I don't know if that desire is still going to be there to try and move up to where the Vikings are. The Kansas City Chiefs want a speedy receiver. My lean on it would be Brian Thomas Jr. or Xavier Worthy, and we know how well Andy Reid does by utilizing speed. Those two, maybe the Detroit Lions, probably not the Baltimore Ravens because they'll just take somebody that falls to them like they do every year.
Yeah.
But if you want an offensive tackle, they're running out. Troy Fontenot is still
Good point.
available. Tyler Guyton is still available. But like Latham, Alt, and Fashanu were gone. I'm shocked Amarius Mims is still on the board.
Yeah, he's a monster.
6'7", 340, and can move better than a semi-truck.
Dude, it's amazing. Like some of these, just side street here, the offensive tackles are grown in a lab now. They're like 6'8", 340-pound, ridiculous.
Phil Loadholt, but like 10 years later.
Yeah.
Amarius Mims is Trent Williams and Phil Loadholt's body.
No, it's true, man. Okay, back to Jesse Pierce with some Vikings vent line here on the floor at the Fillmore.
We've got a white berry and go Bears. There
Go
we
Bears.
go. We like it. Go Bears. All right, what's your name?
My name's Cade. I'm from Hugo, and very happy with JJ McCarthy pick. And Vikings will draft Jerzon Newton or hopefully Brian Thomas from 3D. Baby.
We got breaking news. We got breaking news.
Whoa. The Minnesota Vikings are on the clock again!
Hold on.
Get the flag! Okay. The Minnesota Vikings are on the clock at 17. They have pulled a trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they've moved up 6 spots. We're waiting for the draft pick compensation on this, but the Vikings clearly, Kwesi cooking, man.
Well, this is what I said, though. There's a defensive guy. They want it. There's a defensive guy, and I think when Murphy went, they said, screw it, we're going to go get the next guy. I love this.
Kwesi cooking with some Crybaby Craigs, cooking with some Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply.
Watch
cooking
Quinion
with some
Mitchell
popcorn.
Here. Watch Quinion Mitchell here.
And
yeah.
LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, that's what Alec thinks it's going to be. Alec Lewis put out who he thinks it's going to be. Interesting.
Okay,
Wow.
this is really juicy. I love this move. I love this aggressiveness. And there it is.
Nope, that's
no, there it is.
Picks in, baby.
Yeah.
Picks in.
It's in.
With the 17th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select edge rusher Dallas Turner.
There it is.
Get the flag.
Get the flag again. reigning, defending SEC Defensive Player of the Year. 10 sacks for the Alabama Crimson Tide last year. And it's funny, a lot of mock drafts early in the process before Kirk Cousins signed with the Falcons had the Vikings taking Dallas Turner at 11.
Whoa.
And Judd Zolgad is at the Northern Fire Hot Takes desk. Whoa, okay, we got the do you want the compensation?
Yeah. It's big.
Yeah. Okay. The Vikings get the 17, the Jaguars get the 23, the 167, and third and fourth round picks next year. That's the compensation.
But we still have our first next year.
But the Vikings still have a first round pick next year. And they still have JJ McCarthy, who they drafted.
Hey, Phil, what's the betting odds the Vikings trade back next year? Like, I would love to take the odds right now that the Vikings are trading back next year.
They will, almost 100%.
Yeah.
Especially because they're going to be drafting like 30th anyways.
Here's your hot take. The 2024 Minnesota Vikings are going back to the playoffs.
There he is. Oh, man. John, we need another Skull chant, man. We're wearing you out here, John, but we need another Skull chant.
Hey.
The Vikings have made 2 picks.
Can we talk about Dallas Turner's testing numbers, though?
Right after a Skull chant.
Yeah,
100%.
gotta do a Skull chant.
Yeah. All right, here we go. One more Skull chant, or maybe 100 more, but John, fire away.
Skull. Skull. Skull.
Wow, dude. Okay, Miles, talk dirty to us. Talk dirty to us.
All right.
Let's talk about Dallas Turner, athletic freak, right now.
So athletic freak he is. So Dallas Turner is 6'3", 250, 247. He's got 34-inch arms, basically 10-inch hands.
Pythons, Mike.
Pythons.
Yeah, let's go.
His 40 was a 4.46.
Oh.
So he ran a sub 540, sub 4.540, 10, and then he jumped 40 and a half.
Oh.
And a broad jump of 10.7.
Let's go.
So he's your your prototypical outside linebacker, chess piece that Brian Flores is going to love.
So you're going to have some pieces, man. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner. Oh.
And everybody moving around.
All moving around.
All
everywhere.
moving around. And Van Ginkel can now just play on third down if you want. Like this operates. I think that there's a very good case to be made. Now, the secondary, the corners do scare me a little bit. I think there's a case to be made. We're talking about a top 10 defense across the board next year.
This is also, Ben Gessling has this. Yeah, it's the first edge rusher that the Vikings have drafted in the first round since Erasmus James in 2005.
Yeah, we don't need to remember. When Aaron Rodgers was still on the board.
Oh.
Don't, let's not.
Okay, Forno, what are your thoughts on Dallas Turner?
Dallas Turner was my 4th-ranked edge rusher. I was a little bit lower on him than a lot of consensus, mainly because he's got all the tools and he's got zero polish. A lot of what he does, he loves to rush around the edge and just with speed. For a Nick Saban player, he doesn't have a lot of polish, and to me, that's a little bit worrisome. He does know how to use the long arm on occasion, and I think a lot of people were sold because against Georgia, he had one play where he just long-armed a guy to death, and it was really, really impressive. But when you have Jared Verse and Chop Robinson still on the board and you trade up that much to go get Turner, to me it's a little bit questionable. I think Turner could end up being a superstar, but I think there's a long way to go, and you gave up a lot to take that bet when you probably could have gotten one of the 3 easily at 23rd overall. So I'm pretty low on this pick compared to the excitement that was in the room, which I love the palpable excitement, but I question this one a lot.
Okay. Judd's back at the Northern Fire Barbecue Hot Takes desk here. So
Hey, Forno, Northern Fire and I have one thing to say to you. Brian Flores is going to polish the gem that is Dallas Turner.
I hope you are right, Judd. I really do.
So, wow. I mean, what a night. Again, we'll see how these picks pan out. On paper, it's one thing on draft night. You fast forward 4 years, and we all get to find out together. But the Vikings address their biggest need, which is franchise quarterback.
Yep.
And with Danielle Hunter's departure, and Jonathan Grenard comes in and helps with some of that, but maybe you find someone, if you can polish him to the things that Forno was saying.
Right.
I love this, man. I love the way that this draft has gone. I love that you didn't have to give up your second first-round pick. You still get JJ McCarthy, and you get a really – by the way, Brian Flores probably had the most influence in this pick, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
So, if Brian Flores says, that's the guy that I think I can polish – okay, you listen to a smart coach.
Well, and the thing, too, is, and this is, I absolutely think this is great. So, Danielle Hunter leaves, and that's a loss. I mean, the guy's a good player. But he leaves, and look at how you've gone about replacing him.
Yeah.
And I will say this. Danielle Hunter might be the best player of all the players. He might be better than all the players the Vikings have brought in. But that being said, look at how much more quality depth now exists there. And you know what? If you're going to have issues potentially with your corners in the secondary, what's the second best thing that you can possibly do?
Get after quarterbacks.
Get the
quickly.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Get the quarterback space.
The Bengals are taking offensive tackle Amarius Mims with the 18th overall pick.
Oh, I love that.
He's a mountain of a man.
And he's going to get to learn from a mountain of a man in Trent Brown and Orlando Brown. That's a great fit.
So Joe Burrow gets another potential protector along the offensive line. Okay, Vikings vent line. Should we go to the YouTube version of it here? Okay, Dex.
All right, let's go to John next year on the YouTube channel. John, what's up, buddy? You're on vent line.
What's up, guys? Skull from Fort Worth, Texas. Cowboys hell.
Right back at you.
Let's go.
Super happy about JJ McCarthy. I could not be more happy. I was giving all the Cowboy fans crap today that we were going to get him. JJ to JJ.
Yep.
Love the Turner pick. Love the show, guys.
Awesome, man. Hey, thank you for joining us down in Texas. Vikings vent line.
And you know what? If there were any questions on the part of Justin Jefferson, hey, who's my quarterback going to be? Now you know, and it's a pretty damn good answer, right?
Yeah, now you know. Yep. Who's next, Declan?
All right, let's go to Gavin next. What's up, Gavin? You're on vent line.
What's up, guys? Love the picks tonight. I got to say, I got to ask Sports Dad a question here. Sports Dad, has there been a time in your life where all 4 Minnesota sports franchises within the next 5 years could realistically win a championship? Because that is what we're looking at right now. All 4 major men's sports franchises. Twins, we got Royce Lewis. We got Pablo Lopez, even though he's having a terrible start to the season. We got Camille in the Wild. We got our quarterback. We got JJ to JJ. We got Ant. We got Cat. We got Rudy Gobert. We got 6th player of the year.
Just keep going, man.
Minnesota,
just keep going.
Cooking. We're cooking.
Crazy's the head chef.
Dude, Kwesi is cooking here, man.
No,
I mean,
I have no complaints.
He stared down the Giants.
Well, and I like what he did, though. I like how But I mean, he clearly sensed the danger of the Broncos and took care of that.
Yeah, just
as long as you take care of it.
Yeah, you still get to keep your 108 as well, right?
Yep.
So they'll get a pick in the 4th round. Let's keep it rocking here, Declan. Vikings vent line.
All right, let's go to our guy Jimmy. Jimmy, what's up, buddy? You're on vent line.
What's going on? So if you guys remember, there was someone that looked very similar to me after the Tampa Bay game last season that said to fire Kwesi. That was actually my long-lost twin Chinese brother. A lifetime extension for the general manager and Kevin O'Connell. The offensive rookie of the year race is over. The defensive rookie of the year race is over. The race for the...
He just froze up.
He cut out. But
he just froze up, but we get the point.
Yeah.
You were somebody sabotaged you last year.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, we got to see, obviously. Let's see if these things pan out. But with the excitement, I'm guessing that the Wilfs are very excited about this.
Don't you feel pretty good, though, as we just talked about, that Brian Flores was involved in Pitt? Like, obviously, the Donatel bunch just turned out to bust completely.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good if Brian Flores said, hey, I can fix him. I mean, here's the thing to me with the quarterback and with Turner. you've got two coaches that you trust to coach them.
Yeah.
And, that's a big thing. Mike Zimmer at one time did a really good job with defensive players.
Yep, and I wouldn't always, if I'm a GM and there's inexperienced defensive coordinator guy, I'll take his opinion. With Brian Flores,
right?
Tell me who you want me to pick.
Right, that's
kind of where I'm at with it. So, all right, Vikings vent line here. Let's go back to YouTube for one more, and then we'll go back to the floor here after that.
Perfect. Austin, what's up, pal? You're on vent line.
What's going on, guys? Happy freaking draft day. I am absolutely ecstatic for what we got, and really didn't have to settle and trade up, and everything just kind of fell in our lap. I'm so excited for JJ McCarthy. I was actually working a baseball game, so trying to sit here anxiously anticipating if we're going to get JJ or if we're going to get sniped by the Broncos or something like that. Meanwhile, trying to produce a minor league baseball game with 3 outs to go. So I tell you what, dude, I'm absolutely ecstatic, and thank you guys so much for everything that you do. You guys have, helped all of us Vikings fans just get through the whole day and just get through the whole year and all the doldrums of the off season. Like now, you guys have been absolutely awesome. I pray WrestleMania is there next year so I can meet up with you guys and have a surly with you.
Amen.
Thanks, Austin.
Hey, man. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate that. Let's go back to the floor here where Jesse Pierce is running Vikings vent line in-house here at the Fillmore. Somewhere. Oh, up top. We're up top
We're
here.
up top, boys.
There we go.
Hey,
There we go.
we
Okay.
made it.
There we go.
I even took the stairs. It was impressive. So, what's your name and where are you from?
I'm Rick. I'm from Champaign, Illinois.
Nice.
All right.
We like that you're choosing the Vikings over the Bears. Always a good. What are your thoughts so far?
I don't know what more can be said other than KOC and the Vikings. We got our quarterback of the future, B-Flow, and the defensive line. We got another beefed up edge rusher. Judd?
Yes,
wave
sir.
the flag.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Let's get it again. Man, Judd's going to be sore tomorrow morning. Rotator cuff surgery for Judd. Maybe Tommy John surgery. Flag. Are we gonna use that? Are you gonna bring that to your home studio? Can you wave that? She would not be happy. What if you put it out like the flags they have at Perkins, like those? If you put it outside your home.
A flagpole? It's just a flagpole, I think, right? Is that what you're
Right. I
talking
mean,
about?
you could
I could install it by our mailbox right on the side of the house. I might be kicked out of the house after that, so I need somewhere to live, but it's a good idea.
Okay, back to Jesse.
All right. What's your name? Where are you from?
Justin from Columbus, Ohio. So, Mackie and Judd, I don't know if nobody's done a write this down yet. You have room for a write this down?
Sure, fire away.
Because of the infrastructure around JJ this year, I think he's going to lead the division in quarterback rushing and passing yards.
Oh, okay.
Rushing and passing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Because there's some mobile. You got Caleb Williams can run a little bit. Jordan Love can run a little bit and throw. Okay.
Go this way. Walk with me. Talk with me, guys.
Look
This
at
is gonna
Jesse
be
Pierce.
fun.
You were just
Jesse,
a
on the
pros
move-
pro.
on the move right now.
I mean, this is impressive.
Imagine that. I found some hockey people here with me, including a Winnipeg Jets fan as well as a Chicago Blackhawks fan. It's okay.
Boo.
We're going to let them pass because they came here for this event this weekend. You guys, what are your names and where are you from?
Hey, I'd like to know your thoughts on if the Falcons were going to take Penix, why didn't they do a swap with the Vikings before the NFL made them the compensation for tampering, to circumvent that to get ahead of the NFL?
What do you mean? Why didn't the Falcons trade back?
No. Why didn't the Falcons? You know how last year how they made the deal before the draft to move back as compensation for tampering?
Yeah.
Why didn't the Falcons do that with the Vikings before the draft now?
Well, because the Falcons don't think that they are guilty of tampering.
Yeah.
But they could have taken Penix at 11.
Yeah. Well, now it's more hilarious, though. Because
this is better. What are you talking about?
This is way
man?
more hilarious that this happened.
Yeah, but they might have to give up
But
future compensation, and the Vikings wouldn't have had to trade up.
Yeah. No, I mean, you make a good point, but
And they'll probably
they
they'll probably be just stripped of a pick.
Yeah.
That
I
won't
don't
go to
think the Vikings probably aren't getting anything. By the way, the Rams just traded up into the 19th slot, and they selected Florida State edge rusher Jared Verse with their pick.
All right.
The Steelers are on the clock with the 20th overall pick.
Hey, Mackie, can we talk about the masterclass that Kwesi had tonight?
Please.
So the Vikings get their quarterback of the future, franchise quarterback, future quarterback. They get an elite premier edge rusher who is considered the best edge rusher in the class at 17.
Yeah.
And they still have their 2025 first-round pick.
Yeah.
So they don't have so they basically used 2 second-round picks, a third and a fourth-round pick to get a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
And arguably the best edge rusher in the class.
Yeah.
That I don't know what they don't have many mid-round picks, but when we say screw those picks, they're not saying screw first-round picks. They're saying screw mid-round picks.
Right.
I'm all for it.
Not at the expense of first-round picks. And if you would have asked anyone in Vikings Fanville 2 months ago, hey, how would you feel winding up with Dallas Turner and JJ McCarthy? I think people would have said, okay.
A+.
Okay.
That's an A+.
Yeah.
But the thing about this that's so great, too, is the ultimate collaboration. Because, this is O'Connell and Brian Flores largely having say on the players. And Kwesi's the guy that then has to make the moves. And so, this is the ultimate collaboration that impresses me. And he's the guy that has to move the chess pieces, which is, as we know, not easy to do. So
now, as Kevin Seifert, your old colleague from the Star Tribune, now ESPN.com, notes, the Vikings only have 3 picks right now in the 2025 draft.
Likely
one of them is
4.
a first-round pick.
Likely 4 with the third-round comp pick projected.
Correct.
And they might get another one back, too. It's a wonky one with Shaq Griffin, I think, when they signed him. But they might end up with 2 third-round picks next year from comp picks. So.
And there's moves you could make, obviously.
Right. That first-round pick
trade back.
Yeah, that first-round pick could get them those picks back in one trade.
100%.
And they are adding quality talent now. See, here's the thing about, you got a ton of draft picks, which can be great at times. But how many times did we see Rick Spielman start to get picks for the sake of getting picks?
Yeah.
And now he's taking 5th and 6th round chances, and once in a while they worked out. But a lot of times they didn't work out.
Yeah.
I would far rather see you adding quality pieces to a team immediately. And if you want to get more picks, get more picks. But I prefer this to the Spielman, hey, I ended up with 17 picks. Look at me, ain't I great? It's really, you ain't that great.
It's not even hyperbole because he literally picked 15 players.
I know.
And was it his last or second to last draft? So let's go back to Vikings vent line here. Dex, where do you want to go?
Yeah, we'll go back to Vikings vent line. By the way, Thor Nystrom was ready to join right before the Vikings traded back up for Dallas Turner. So he will rejoin with us. So give us his thoughts on JJ McCarthy. He had a great outfit on. I'll just tease that. But he will rejoin us eventually here on Ventline, I believe, before the night's over. So in the meantime, we'll stick here on the YouTube channel. We'll go to Jacob. Hey, Jacob, what's up, man? You're on Ventline.
What's going on, guys? Just a couple thoughts here on tonight. So first, as the kids are saying, Kwesi is cooking tonight. I'm loving what he's doing. Regardless of how we feel about McCarthy, I think he ultimately has some work he needs to do, but we have the right team to do that. But to not give up that pick and get that guy, and then just to top that off with Turner is money. So I think we are in a good position. And to point out the draft picks, I don't think we need the draft picks. The high-end stuff is what we want. We have an infrastructure already built, so a couple good pieces that are quality players are what we need. And I think we're in that 5-year run to get one before we die, baby. Let's go.
Awesome, man.
Hell yeah.
Right on, dude. Let's keep it rocking here.
Yeah, a few more here. Let's go to Charlie next. Hey, Charlie, what's up, dude? You're on Ventline.
Not too much. Hey, I would have been, really happy if we got JJ at 3 and we got him at 10. So that's still not quite sunk in. But the way I see it is kind of echo your guys' points is that McCarthy definitely seems like KOC's pick and D. Turner seems like Flores' pick. So I'm just waiting on that Matt Daniels pick of that kicker that Troy's talking about here. So, yeah, love you guys' stuff. Skull Vikes. That's all I got.
Awesome, man.
Thank you,
dude.
Charlie.
Appreciate you jumping in.
Hey, we're gonna go to one more vent line guest here before we keep it back here at the Fillmore. But we're gonna get a guest here and his son all the way from Peru.
What?
Who are here from Peru to give their thoughts on the Vikings draft. Dave, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Love the shirt, man. Love the shirt.
Thanks. We were in Cusco flew back to Lima today, so we went from 11,000 feet to sea level. So it feels nice to breathe again. But we're super excited. I'm a season ticket holder, and just really jacked to have a quarterback in the future. Adam, you want to say something, bud?
I was happy that we got JJ McCarthy.
Dude.
Boy.
Actually, Adam here made a mock draft and had the Vikings getting JJ. He was actually pretty accurate. So
Nice,
anyway,
man.
Thanks
Hey,
a lot, guys.
what time is it in Peru right now?
Actually, it's on Eastern time, but they don't have daylight savings time, so we're on the exact time as you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us here.
Thank you,
The
Dave.
Just One Before I Die, the original. And by the way, the JJ to JJ swag is available at scorenorth.com/shop. Scorenorth.com/shop. There's also a QR code on your YouTube screen there if you're interested. A couple other shout-outs too. Popcorn has been keeping us fed, bringing these flags to everyone who was in attendance tonight at the draft party. So appreciate Popcorn, the official flag sponsor, popcorn.com. Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply with the Smoking Hot Takes desk. And just what a great night, man. Crybaby Craig's, the preferred hot sauce of the Purple Daily crew. And also, again, our friends at Fulton Brewing for putting on a great pregame party over at their brew house. Great menu, 10 years in the brewing business, downtown Minneapolis. So a great milestone for them. And Element Hotel providing high-quality shelter and lodging for our friends at the draft party here tonight. You can find your booking at Marriott.com and search Element Minneapolis. We have another pick in here, it appears, the 20th overall pick. Oh, they want us to restart this. We're going to remind us in an hour. Okay. With the 20th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select offensive tackle Troy Fautanu from Washington.
Love that pick. Love it.
The offensive tackle's really
potatoes,
good.
man.
Love it.
Fautanu
can play on the inside if you need him. I mean, he's only 6'3.5", but he's got 34.5-inch arms, and because of that height, he can actually utilize better leverage. So you can kick him inside if you want. Broderick Jones is already playing right tackle, so Fautanu can play on the left side. And if he struggles at tackle because of the height, you can just kick him inside, and he could be an all-pro.
The interesting thing about the run on tackles, which actually makes perfect sense in the first round too, is in some ways getting a tackle now. It's not the same as, but it's sort of like in the rookie quarterback contract discussion, because those guys get paid. I mean, we're going to see in a year or so, Christian Darrisaw is going to get paid a boatload. And so if you can have what the Vikings currently have with Darrisaw for 5 years, that's a pretty damn big advantage because those guys break the bank too.
But just don't you think, isn't it crazy that this night started? One of the big reports that came out was the Vikings called on Justin Herbert. Adam Schefter had it.
Yeah.
And some of the buzz that we had heard, you know who nailed it? Antonio Brown, CT ESPN.
CT ESPN, man.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around.
And he said Darrisaw was part of the discussions. So there was like an alternate parallel universe that the Vikings tonight traded Christian Darrisaw and like a couple first-round picks for Justin Herbert.
And wouldn't you love to know now what, like, if they did get far enough to make an offer to the Chargers for them to say no?
Yeah.
I'd love to know what that was.
What was the final offer?
Was Darrisaw really involved because the Vikings are fearful? Like, clearly, if you got Herbert and took his contract, you're going to have to shed yourself of salary elsewhere.
Yeah.
So was that the future of paying Darrisaw? Because it wouldn't come at Jefferson's expense?
Yeah.
So interesting.
By the way, Kwesi and KOC speaking to media here in the last 10 minutes. Kwesi said he's through the moon at how the first round has gone. And then Kevin O'Connell on KFXN Radio says it was a big-time goal to add an real impact player to our defensive front with the pick of Dallas Turner. So, okay, Vikings vent line. Is Jesse around?
I'm up here.
There she is.
There.
Okay, up in the upper deck, the VIP area here. Okay.
The VIP area, a lot of thoughts up here. What's your name and where are you from?
Evan from
The
Atlanta.
ATL.
Evan,
What's up, Evan?
pretty well, man.
What's up, brother?
Evan.
As loyal as it comes. Thank you.
Yep, 3 years in a row, and I can honestly say each draft party has been better than the year before. You guys are putting on an absolute show.
Dude.
Being from Atlanta, my dad is a Falcons fan, so as soon as they made the pick at 8, I was texting him and teasing him about how Penix is 26 years old, and he's not going to be making his first NFL start until he's about 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name of this first-round draft so far has been value. We've gotten JJ, who is a very valuable quarterback and haven't had to give up any future picks, and then getting the best edge rusher in the late teens. So fantastic value for the Vikes tonight.
What is like? How many people have you been? This Kirk Cousins thing is fascinating. Like, have you been texting with people to get enough to get a vibe of like how do they feel about taking a quarterback while they just signed a $100 million guaranteed Kirk Cousins contract in Atlanta?
So I work in and around the airport. I run into thousands of Falcons fans all the time. I have not met one person who is excited about Kirk Cousins.
So, I mean,
That's too bad.
Is it possible that they're already having buyer's remorse?
Yes.
And that,
yes.
And the incredible thing though is when you sign Cousins, you make a commitment to try to win now. That's what Kirk thinks, right?
This is wild.
And so his replacement was taken instead of a guy that could have helped his team. It is it's craziness, but if I'm the Vikings, I'm so thrilled right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just be completely. It's all looking forward now. It's all looking forward.
The NFC South, man.
Evan, thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks again, dude.
3 years in a row, seeing you at the draft party. Jesse, who else you got up there?
What's your name and where are you from?
Rocky from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So JJ McCarthy is the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft. And write this down. He will start by week 4 and win Rookie of the Year, an honored judge prediction, and we will be in the playoffs in 2024. Write that down.
Yeah.
It's not totally far-fetched at all, in my opinion, now. When you look at how the defense is going, I mean, this team defensively, I think, is going to be a pain.
Yeah.
And
CJ Stroud clicked right away.
Yep.
And maybe this is a hot take. I don't know if it's enough to like make it a hot take.
Well, plus
at the Northern Fire, desk. But I think the Vikings have better infrastructure across the roster than the Texans had last year. Yeah. And it just, I mean, obviously, like having CJ Stroud play at that level is a big ask.
Right.
So,
but what's to say that Kevin O'Connell, when he deems McCarthy set to play, can't get the most? I mean, I'm going to go back to it. Kevin O'Connell, for the 2 year plus that he had Kirk, turned Kirk into a really good QB.
Yeah.
And we've got this whole thing. Well, before that, he was putting up big stats. Okay, he was. But this guy led 8 fourth-quarter comebacks in 22.
The high leverage stuff was
exactly right. And that's what you want, right? Who's to say that O'Connell can't pull the same strings with McCarthy?
And it's funny, too, like sometimes I hear people speak negatively about the backup quarterbacks down the stretch having kind of lost it. Dude, first of all, there's a reason why Josh Dobbs has been on 14 different teams in 5 years. And not to diss the guy, like he's a pro quarterback. Nick Mullins, he's an interception machine. Yeah. The fact that Kevin O'Connell got like a 400-yard passing game out of Nick Mullins, won a game against the Falcons in which Josh Dobbs didn't know the playbook or any of his teammates.
Yep.
Like there is a whisper in there, I think, that will be really interesting to watch play out with an actual rookie quarterback.
I am more concerned or worried about Kevin O'Connell's actual in-game management than anything to do with quarterbacks.
Yeah, and that's more fixable than a sense for developing quarterbacks
100%.
if you don't have one, right?
Yep.
So
total agreement.
Okay, Dex, where should we go next year on Vikings Vent?
Yeah, we have a couple in queue here on the YouTube channel, so let's go to Matthew next.
Okay, Dex, where should we go?
Matthew, mute your TV if you can.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Matthew?
Sorry, I have you guys on my TV, so I'm trying to coordinate right now.
No worries.
Man. This is the first time I have been just elated at the first round picks that the Vikings have gotten. I would say this. I think the only person that's more excited right now, we got to see my man Thor Nystrom, how he's doing. Because I bet he's kind of died and gone to heaven right now.
Yeah, he's currently sitting in an
another
IPA
thing,
bathtub right now.
Hot take. Well, I got 2 hot takes, so let's see what we got. Vikings will not only have the offensive rookie of the year and JJ McCarthy, they will have the defensive Rookie of the Year in Dallas Turner.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Let's go.
Good stuff.
I love it, Matthew.
Let's go.
Thank you, man.
Matthew, thank you. Repping that OG
Before
I Die shirt there, too.
All right, let's go to one more. Let's go to Gabe here. Hey, what's up, Gabe? You're on Ventline, buddy.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
All right. I love JJ McCarthy pick here, but I also love the Dallas Turner because I think Brian Flores was that. But also, I have a question for the Purple Daily on draft. What are your guys' thought on Roman Will?
Well,
in the draft
cut
for
out.
the Vikings.
Real quick.
McCarthy from Michigan.
Hey, before you answer that question, with the 21st pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dolphins are selecting Tyler Fornes's long-lost love, defensive end Chop Robinson from Penn State.
Good for Miami.
Yeah.
Good for my great pick. I'll defer to Miles a little bit on Roman Wilson. That's his guy. Really interesting player that needs a little bit of polish, but he's got the juice. And if you run him on a bunch of deep overs, he's awesome.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He fits this offense to a T, especially from the slot. Like, you let him run those deep overs and a lot of the option routes. I think he'd fit perfectly in this offense with what they want to do, especially with Jordan Addison on one side and JJ on the other.
Yeah. Dex, back to
Gabe. You got another question?
Oh,
You good there?
Yeah.
No, we're good.
All right,
Awesome,
man.
Gabe, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Let's also, though, in the meantime, we'll go to Michael here. Michael's still in the green room. What's up, Michael? You're on Ventline, buddy.
What's going on, Fillmore?
Michael, what's going on, man?
Man, I was hoping for Jaden Daniels. He's my favorite of the quarterbacks. But JJ to JJ, who's gonna love that, man? I mean, and not only that, but getting a good edge rusher. I mean, hey, I'm with Judd, man. Playoffs, NFC North champions. I mean, hey,
oh boy.
I mean, we're going there.
But you know what? Like, here's the thing. Like, it's
Thanks,
not.
Michael.
Thank you, man. It's not. You went to the hot takes desk with that take, but doesn't, like, whether you think playoffs or not this year, doesn't this feel so much better and brighter than just running it back again with a 35, 36-year-old, never really won anything big? Like, this at least feels like a path. It feels like big-time hope and upside to finally do something at a Super Bowl level for the first time.
I said it feels like a new chapter, and it feels like the first time that this is truly going to feel like Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell's team. Yes, 100%.
Yes.
This doesn't feel like trying to prove that Zimmer screwed up and so we can win with his players. This feels like, first of all, you're younger. Second of all, you now have more guys under team-controlled contracts. There's just a lot to like.
I got two guests here on Ventline. We'll keep it on the YouTube channel. Let's go to Alex here. Hey, Alex, what's up, man? You are on Ventline. You just got to unmute yourself on the website there, Alex.
Oh, I got you. What's up, guys? I'm in IT, and I almost left myself on mute. But
that's okay, dude.
I wish I was there with you guys. I got my flag, Judd. There you go.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
Love it.
The big one. I'm so excited. We finally got the QB of the future. This is what we've been waiting for. So I'm all the way over here in Hawaii enjoying the good sun and just really excited. Love the Dallas pick as well. For me, he was the best edge in the draft, and now we've got awesome talent on the offensive side and defensive side. So I'm really looking forward to this next year and seeing what the Vikings have. And I was just so tired of all these journeyman QBs that we've had. Now we got a franchise quarterback, and now there's the Falcons problem.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Lots to be excited about.
Can you imagine being in Hawaii right now? You get to enjoy both those first-round picks. That sounds pretty dang nice.
Yeah, and it's what is it right now? It's like 5:30 right now.
5:40 or something.
5:40 in
It's
Hawaii. Happy hour.
All right, I got one more here, and I think this guy said we overpaid for Dallas Turner. He's not too happy.
So it's Forno. It's Forno on his phone here.
Yeah, might be. Apparently. Hey, what's up, Quinn? You're on Ventline, dude.
Hey guys, Quinn from Chicago. Wish I could be with you guys tonight. I don't necessarily know that they overpaid, and I think Dallas Turner's great. I am curious what your gut reaction to the compensation was, though, because it was a lot, and we're feeling pretty thin on future draft picks. So obviously, if Turner works out, doesn't matter, but it seemed like a lot. So thanks for putting this on tonight. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, no, appreciate. I mean, Forno kind of raised that point about he's a project. Now, how many guys better than Brian Flores to come in and mold the ball of clay?
Well,
and they only have 3 or 4 draft picks next year, but they've got the bones of a good roster now too. If the quarterback works out,
and as Tyler also said, you're probably going to get at least 1 third-round compensatory pick that you're going to be awarded.
Yeah,
and keep in mind that it's changed a little bit here. You've got far more with Kwesi. He is the proverbial chef here cooking. He is the guy who will go out, so they'll get more draft picks.
They also have a lot of cap space, Judd.
Yeah.
I think that's a big
They're
part
in
people
good. You
forget.
know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain. I think they're in really good shape. I think they're in excellent shape. And the other thing is you need depth, but I think the lesson, and this is going to sound weird, I think if there's any lesson from the 2022 draft, which now looks like it was nothing really bad, I think it was accruing more picks for the sake of it and trying to, as I like to say, get cute, is not nearly as preferable as getting what you consider to be sure assets.
Yeah.
And so if you're telling me, hey, you can have a bunch of draft picks and you might hit on some, but you're not going to hit on, or you can have fewer draft picks, but you're going to get what you consider to be sure bets in your mind, I'm taking that path.
And there are no sure bets, but I know what you're saying. Like you
But you think you can develop them?
Yep.
You think you can develop them?
So
Yes, Forno.
one of the interesting things is you have a bunch of different trade value charts, and somebody compiled every single move that the Vikings have made so far with the 2024 draft, including the trade up to 23. The classic trade value charts, the Jimmy Johnson and the Rich Hill, only have the Vikings giving up a late 3 or an early 4. All the analytics charts, either a mid-first or an early first-round pick in lost value. And what I find interesting about that is in this compilation is the idea with the analytics trade value charts is it doesn't matter if you're trading up for a quarterback, is that their theory is that's the only position you should trade up for because it's the only one where you're going to get that kind of surplus value. So the fact that they're giving up a mid-first or an early first, the whole reason why you trade 23 is you want that ammo to go get a quarterback. But if you don't get to trade up for that quarterback, you have the ability to stay home, take a guy, and they ended up taking a guy they really liked in Dallas Turner. So, and the other interesting part is McCarthy's the youngest quarterback in this class, turned 21 in January. Dallas Turner's the second youngest edge rusher in this class, and he just turned 21 as well this calendar year.
Yeah.
So that Andrew Berry influence from Cleveland, take young prospects, because, hey, when they sign extensions in 3 years, they're 24 years old.
Yes.
That is not old at all in NFL years.
Yep. I mean, for quarterbacks, it's a little bit less of a problem, but any other position, 100% right. But it's also nice to have a quarterback that's on the younger end of that scale. Okay, the Eagles are on the clock. Their pick is in at 22, and they are selecting Toledo cornerback Quinyon Mitchell.
I can't believe they got to stay at 22 and take Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, he was
They
projected
were trying
like
to get
maybe in
up
the teens.
into like the 10 to go get him.
Yeah. That's pretty wild, man. What's our tally of offense, defense right now? Miles, do you have the draft board in front of you? I mean, it's like
I do.
We're getting some more defensive players now.
I've only
but-
seen 4 defensive players.
We're only at 6 because Latu, Shop, Verse, Turner, Murphy, and now Mitchell.
So we've got
So
6.
yeah, we're at 6 to 16.
Wow.
And
That's
this is a very top-heavy offensive draft.
Yeah. I think we're headed.
Really?
I think 19 is the most offensive players ever taken in the first round. So we are 3 away from tying the record with 10 picks to go here. So do we have any other event line guests in?
Yeah,
queue
we
right
got
now, Dex?
we got one more. Let's go to Rose here. Hey, what's up, Rose? You were on.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, dude.
Real quick, and I apologize if somebody has brought this up already. But in my mind, when I think of Vikings history, I think back to like Randall Cunningham, Jeff George. I think there was a Bauman in there at some point in time. Case Keenum, Brett
Buffalo
Favre.
High School, let's
all
go.
these quarterbacks that we kind of get from somewhere else. And I don't know if you guys have talked about Sam Darnold, but I feel like, is there the potential that like we maybe don't, I don't know, like ever see JJ McCarthy start for the Vikings?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't think there's any chance of that. I think that Darnold is here because they think I think part of what scared them, rightfully so, last year was that when they had to go to the backup well, it probably the last 2 years it has not turned out well. I think Sam Darnold very well could start the season.
Yeah.
But JJ McCarthy's going to get his chance. But I think Kevin O'Connell also would like to have a backup that he could trust more, perhaps. I mean, let's be honest, it didn't really work out. Nick Mullins might have meant well, but he was Brett Favre without the talent. So
he had some talent. He's Brett Favre without the
arm, without the what?
I'm trying to think. Brett Favre without the magic, but sometimes had weird magic that.
Yeah, weird is the word.
He
But
had, like week 12 magic sometimes,
Yeah.
but not enough to win games.
But no, I think that McCarthy is the guy as soon as O'Connell deems him to be ready.
By the way, I just saw a note here that there are 29 states and 2 Canadian provinces that were represented in this room tonight at the Fillmore for the Purple Daily Draft Party. That's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
And
guys.
there's like
Give yourself a hand.
smattering of people who have stuck around to find out who the 23rd and 24th picks are going to be. And we appreciate.
Well, you never know
guys,
if he's
but-
going to get back into the first round somewhere at the
Is there
end.
is it mathematically possible for them to get back in the first round with? Yeah, take our
Well,
2026 first round pick.
If you're willing to trade your 2025 first and then a
Yeah.
little bit more,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
They're not going to, but
reckless speculation.
Oh, hold on. Let me give you some cover.
Reckless speculation.
What about a Justin Jefferson trade?
Oh,
4-0.
4-0.
No, look,
really? Did you just do that?
Hey! I'm not advocating for it, but you asked me how they could get back up there.
Chiefs?
It's trade a guy like
Chiefs?
Justin Jefferson or Christian Darrisaw. That's how you get back up there.
Okay, 2 teams that could do it. Just for fun. Just a little reckless speculation among friends here, right? Okay.
I almost can't.
Reckless speculation.
I feel
The
very
Jaguars
weird
could
doing
trade
this.
that 23 back to you and a couple future firsts. Get another weapon for Trevor Lawrence. The Chiefs could trade some late first-round picks. No, I don't think they do. I think at this point you got your rookie
I
quarterback.
was going to say, isn't everything you're doing creating the space to sign
It is.
Jefferson?
It is.
I'm not going to do that. To those of you who have stuck around, I can't do that to you.
Just a little reckless speculation among friends. So, okay, back to Jesse Pierce up in the VIP section.
You guys found us. I had some jokes for Judd, too, that I was just waiting on, but now I got nothing. Although I will say, going back to when he said he wasn't going to complain anymore, maybe we should write that down because I just don't see it happening.
No,
Judd.
she's right. She's right. She knows me.
I know you. All right, we got some fresh takes. I have been promised a fresh take out of South Dakota. What's your name?
Mike. My fresh take is all night long we've been speculating about how people are so excited that JJ McCarthy is coming to the Vikings. What we haven't speculated is about how excited JJ McCarthy is to be coming to the Vikings.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
JJ McCarthy has to be over the
Yep.
freaking moon
Yep.
right now
Yeah.
about how great his landing spot is.
Yeah. Well,
Great point.
he's been gushing about. Now, yesterday he did an interview with Rich Eisen and talked about the Giants, but before that, it was a lot of like, I love Kevin O'Connell. I want to play for the Vikings. It would be amazing. And here we are. Yeah, you're right. This is every quarterback should have wanted to be drafted by the Vikings. Throwing to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Kevin O'Connell, right?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the McCarthy line was, I would run through a wall for Kevin O'Connell a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I would run through a wall. You know, you look at every quarterback that was drafted in the first round, and for the first time in forever, we didn't get like one surprise guy like Bo Nix falling just out of the round.
Yeah.
But you look at every quarterback that was just drafted, and you tell me a better situation than this one.
No.
Because Michael Penix now, unfortunately for that kid, is going to what's going to be dysfunction. And
Well, it's career changing. I mean, it is, we went through some of these early in the night, some of these other drafts from like the last 5 or 6 years. And I just keep going back to the Sam Darnold draft from 2017 or 8, I think it was 2018.
18.
And if you get stuck with a nobody offensive coordinator and then another nobody offensive coordinator who gets fired and takes the tight end's job at Arkansas, like a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, that was
Robbie
terrible.
Chosen as your number one receiver.
Yep.
You're not – if this is where the Vikings are in such a great position. They aren't looking for a quarterback to save their garbage franchise. They're looking for a quarterback to sit in a really good car, maybe even sit in the back seat while someone else drives it for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not – like some of these teams – I mean, the Patriots – sorry, I know you guys had a dynasty for 20 years, but like your franchise needs saving.
Well,
they're looking at Drake Maye to save their franchise, and that sucks for Drake Maye.
Yeah.
And does Washington have its act together? Now, I think that the fact they were sold helps the franchise, but I mean, is Jaden Daniels going into an ideal situation with Dan Quinn, who, yes, had success with Matt Ryan, but he's still a defensive guy?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you look at those, if you had gone to Jaden Daniels, who spoke very highly of the Vikings, if you had gone to JJ McCarthy and Drake Maye and said, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Not one of them would say, not Minnesota.
Or the Patriots.
Yeah. Everyone. I mean, Drake May's life just got a lot tougher.
Yep.
I saw that, at least just like without listening to the audio, but like looking at the hype video that JJ had from his living room of being drafted by Kevin O'Connell and by the Vikings. I mean, the dude is absolutely jacked. Of course, he's going to be jacked when he's drafted in the first round and he's going to go play in the NFL. But that dude was dapping up and was literally in an LFG mode of he's excited to play for Kevin O'Connell.
Regularly like, hey, yeah, no, we're totally.
The Jacksonville Jaguars with the 23rd pick.
Interesting.
Which they traded back to with that Vikings trade, are selecting LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. So they had tried to trade for Brandon Ayuk previously, but now that conversation is over, according to different NFL insiders. So they lost Calvin Ridley in free agency. By the way, there's like 7,000 people still hanging out with us on the Score North or Purple Daily YouTube channel. Thank you guys. We will stay live through the end of the first round. Just so you guys know at home, we'll keep you updated on all the picks. You know, I'll say there was one time back in the old radio day history.
Sports Dad was once involved.
Sports Dad's co-host decided to shut her down early, and they surprise traded back into the first round.
For Harrison Smith.
For Harrison Smith, yeah.
Turn out they traded back in the first round for a Hall of Famer. That was a Spielman fastball.
Yeah.
That was a Ricky Spielman fastball.
So we are going to keep you guys posted and keep talking about the Vikings first round here live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel throughout the first round, even though the fireworks clearly happened at 10 and 17 for this team. Also, a couple other shout-outs. Our friends at Popped Corn, again, the official flag sponsor tonight, just stepping up to the plate in a big way for us. Ridiculously delicious gourmet popcorn and fudge. Get your custom Vikings and Justin Jefferson tins, which you can see these things right here behind us on stage at poppedcorn.com. Also, man, Fulton with that pregame party, 10 years of brewing in Minnesota. A shout out to them. And don't forget, if you're coming to town for anything, could be Vikings related, could be Wolves playoffs, Twins game, Element Hotel for your hotel needs. You can book at Marriott.com and search Element Minneapolis. Okay, Jesse has another guest here.
Up in the corner.
Up in the corner here. Okay.
We can. We always have guests.
Oh,
here.
okay.
We're working on it.
Sorry.
That was a little delayed text, but we got our famous Justin Herbert conversationalist, right? Remember Kirsten? Kirsten, how happy are we about the general overlook of the Vikings in this year's draft?
You know, they did in fact draft a quarterback in the first round. It seems they are not going to be trading for Justin Herbert. So who would have known? Reckless speculation. Am I right?
But your senses were spot on, though. Your sources.
Your source.
There was clearly a conversation being had.
Yep.
So you were not wrong.
Thank you. As far as JJ McCarthy, I don't know. I have reservations. I'm not ready to go all like, yay, like JJ McCarthy, we got him. I'm excited, but at the same time, like, he's got a lot to prove. So I'm reserving my excitement for the start of the year.
Okay.
I don't know her. I just would make
Bar Down Beauties
guarded
there.
Vikings
don't know
fan.
her. I don't know what that was.
So Bar Down Beauties, both huge hockey fans. Let me read you one excerpt that the Vikings have on their site right now about one JJ McCarthy. McCarthy's mother, Megan, was a competitive figure skater and introduced her son to the ice when she put him in skates as a toddler. Quote McCarthy from 2019, hockey was actually my first love. Spent most of his youth playing hockey and football and had to decide around freshman year of high school which sport he wanted to more poignantly pursue. It was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. I believe we have a future Wild season ticket holder.
Oh, wow. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
JJ McCarthy can make an appearance on Bar Down Beauties, Judd's Hockey Show.
Okay, right now, Justin Jefferson is the most popular Vikings player, right? That's fair to say.
Yep.
Anyone want to fight that?
No.
Not
even close.
what will be the date-ish that JJ McCarthy becomes the most popular Vikings player? Will he usurp Justin Jefferson in popularity? He is the quarterback.
Yeah. The day they win a playoff game and he is the catalyst.
Okay.
That's my guess.
I'd say a date in February.
Oh, really?
What happens in February, Judd?
Oh, really?
When he wins the Super Bowl,
we all gather to watch other teams in the Super Bowl.
with that.
and you would and you would just simply retire the number 9 and give him a new digit because he'd be that popular.
Hey, they already got the blessing from Tommy Kramer on Twitter, so
okay.
Don't you guys think though? Like, what's the reaction going to be if this team can make a playoff run and McCarthy's just a dagger? Because I mean, as we discussed, he's a winner. He's won everywhere he's went, and that's not a fluke.
Yeah, I know that listen, I'm an analytics guy, and even I believe in the magic fairy dust of winning. Like, there's a certain leadership CEO mentality, a look in your eyes, so to speak, right?
Yeah, you galvanize. Everyone knows that you've got this.
Actually, you know what it is? I need a quarterback that can drop an F-bomb once in a while.
Oh, Judd loves an F-bomb.
That's what I need.
I do love an F-bomb.
Okay.
Well-placed F-bomb.
It doesn't need to be every other word. I think that if it's every other word, then you're probably just an idiot. But like, if you mix in a well-timed F-bomb once in a while.
Well, the story that I love, to go back to, the 89 Super Bowl, San Francisco, Cincinnati, when the Niners are driving and Joe Montana in the huddle surveys the crowd and says to a teammate, "It's John Candy right there."
Yeah.
There's just that,
You mean he wasn't clenching his helmet with his
so nice to have
teeth gritted?
It's so nice to have a teammate or coworker who, when you're working with them, your feeling is, "Oh, he's got this."
Yeah.
That's nice of you to say about me. Yeah.
Not, "Oh my God, I'm going to fall apart."
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. It's such a huge, comforting, and it empowers you. You feel like you can win because he is relaying that you can win.
Yep. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes has it. Oh, and again, not to like, it's, I don't want to make this about Kirk, but like, in some ways you're comparing to what can this new quarterback do that the old quarterback or the old infrastructure kept hitting a glass ceiling with, right?
Right.
And it always felt like Kevin O'Connell, and even on like the Netflix series, the clips that we saw, even conversations we've had, like, it always felt like Kevin O'Connell was trying to navigate Kirk through choppy waters.
Yeah, very much.
Well, you gotta listen to me, right? Like that epic Buffalo clip in Netflix. You gotta listen to me, man.
I need a quarterback that doesn't need a coach to like guide him through a panic situation.
Right.
Right. Yeah, he can take it.
Yes, 100%. By the way, Detroit has traded into Dallas's spot at 24. So the Lions are on the clock with the 24th
The crowd
pick right
goes
now.
wild. It is in Detroit.
And the Cowboys looking to pick up some extra draft capital. What a weird offseason for the Cowboys.
I was just going to say, the Cowboys have had maybe the most boring, head-scratching, like all these expectations about what they might do, and they've basically done nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a pick here from the Detroit Lions. With the 24th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Lions are selecting Alabama cornerback Terrion Arnold. Somebody to perhaps try and defend Justin Jefferson 2 times,
and
right?
Those Bears receivers. I mean, that's the one thing. This division, when it comes to receivers now, is a monster.
It is. It's crazy.
I hate the pick. I hate it. Terrion Arnold's the 3rd-ranked player on my board. I don't want him going to the Lions.
Oh, so you hate it from that perspective.
Yeah.
That's two you hate. You hate the Bears, and now you hate this one.
Hey, look, they're doing a really good job drafting, and it's probably a smart idea for them to jump the Packers, because I think Arnold would have been in play for the Packers, especially considering he was a 5-star recruit as a safety.
Yeah.
And you could play him at star, you could play him at safety, you could play him at outside corner, which I think is where you should play him. But that kind of versatility is going to be really, really important for some of these defenses in the back end of the first round.
Yeah.
So I do have it's muted and there's no sound on it, but I do have the video of JJ McCarthy getting the selection from the Minnesota Vikings. It is still processing here on my end. I'm hoping that it's going to figure out being uploaded into our StreamYard here, but I mean, just the reaction from him, in my opinion, is really impressive, and he's super jacked up. As soon as this loads, I will play that for the audience.
And before you do that, I tracked down some fun statistics, a statistical profile of JJ McCarthy here. And it's interesting. Kevin O'Connell went on Pat McAfee's show a few weeks ago before the draft, obviously.
Yep.
And McAfee asked him, like, what is the most important characteristic you're looking for in a quarterback? And he said accuracy. Well, JJ McCarthy was 5th in the country in college football in adjusted completion percentage with 10 yards average depth of target, which is pretty crazy. Like to be ranked that high in accuracy and averaging air yards of 10 yards down the field or more, that clearly caught Kevin O'Connell's eye. On deep throws, 20 yards in the air or more, JJ McCarthy had a 93 PFF grade out of 100, 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 14 big-time throws. And here's another one. When pressured, passing under duress, okay? His PFF grade was 6th among all college quarterbacks last year, and his yards per attempt when pressured, 7th among all college quarterbacks. Now, Bo Nix ranks kind of high in some of those categories. That was a much more tricked up, quick-hitting, short-pass offense.
Right.
Designed to sort of like bail him out of pressure before it even happens. I mean, JJ McCarthy, a lot of these stats are him throwing on 3rd down when they know you're going to pass.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like, how can you perform when the opposing team knows you have to pass? That's the NFL. Trailing in the second half, 3rd down and 8, right? And he's been excellent, small sample size, but excellent at the highest level of college football.
I also think there's something to be said that because you can nitpick, well, he wasn't asked to do this, and they ran the ball up, blah, blah, blah. But I think part of the important thing, too, to keep in mind is he played for Jim Harbaugh, who's about as demanding as it gets. Like, Jim Harbaugh puts up with nothing from his quarterbacks. He knows exactly what he wants, and he executed that offense as Harbaugh wanted. Now, Kevin O'Connell, obviously not the same personality, but Kevin O'Connell has what he wants as well. And so I think there is a similar pattern there to, can you execute what your coach wants you to do?
Yeah.
And JJ McCarthy has proven that he absolutely can. Yep. And that becomes important because, as we've seen, Kevin's desire is not to turn the quarterback completely loose. His desire is to have the quarterback execute what he wants to see.
Yep. All right, let's play this video. There's no audio on it, but this is the reaction from JJ McCarthy as he is
the dog
drafted. There's a dog there.
Oh, who's a good boy.
We will see JJ here in just a second.
Is that his girlfriend with like a football purse, or
he's got the Vikings hat
on? He's pumped.
Oh, he's
skull chat. Skull chat.
Giving the hug to dad. He is jacked up.
Can you play that again? Let's play that one more time.
JJ right there.
I like the white sneaks with no socks. Okay.
She has a football purse. You're right.
I think the dog's sort of scared. I think the dog's like, what's going on?
The dog enjoys frigid
Look
weather.
At that. Look at that. He's scolded.
What's your fashion report there? Do you like the black turtleneck, kind of sleek with the charcoal gray suit coat?
It's a good look.
I like
that. Look. A little bit surprised. Was he not invited?
No, I think Joe Alt was invited.
I think a lot of these guys like to stay at home for this stuff.
I don't blame him.
Joe Alt stayed home in Minnesota. Obviously, JJ McCarthy stayed home. I mean, how many guys? They did not. I don't think I saw many videos of guys going to the stage at all.
My favorite of all time was the Joe Thomas draft when
on a boat.
The league's like, "Hey, come to New York." He's like, "I'm going fishing with my dad.
Call me if I get drafted."
And he got called on his cell phone on his boat while fishing with his dad. You knew that guy was going to be a Hall of Famer.
Didn't Shefty have the Schefter bomb that Roger Goodell had back surgery just a few hours or days before, and wasn't even allowed to hug potential draft picks up at the podium today. So I mean,
I didn't.
Goodell was questionable, if you will.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Raj.
Hey, I just want to throw for the Purple Daily on Draft crew over here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I want to throw it to you guys to look ahead to round. It looks like maybe round 4.
Yeah.
And not right now, but put some thoughts together and tell us 3 to 5 players each that you think, okay, this could be someone for the Vikings to target with the 108. And by the way, we can keep the vent lines open too on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, hit me up.
VikingsVentline@gmail.com. If you have takes on JJ McCarthy, if you have takes on just the current state of the Vikings, You can send us a note. We can open the vent lines back up for the YouTube audience if you just send a request to vikingsventline@gmail.com.
And there's another pick in, too. Looks like the Packers do have a pick.
Yes, with the 25th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Packers select Arizona offensive lineman Jordan Morgan.
That's
Jordan
fascinating.
Morgan.
He doesn't fit
Oh, we
their
have a
thresholds.
Packer fan here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir.
It is Bernie.
You're going to have to leave, sir.
Haze him as he walks out in shame.
Morgan doesn't fit their thresholds, which is really, really interesting.
So it's a terrible pick, is what you're saying?
Well, I also don't know if Morgan can survive a tackle in the NFL. If he's got relatively short arms. I mean, he's a good enough athlete, but
Those T-Rex arms.
That arm length and how he kind of attacks pass rushers, a lot of people had him projected inside guard, and I did as well. I think he could be really, really good at guard, and the Packers don't take guards in the first round.
Didn't Beluga have short arms as well?
They were over 33, though.
Okay.
And like 30,
I just remember reading about the Packers being very upset with the fans.
Yeah, they're like 32 and a half or 32 and 3/4 for Morgan. Which, I mean, I think he's a good football player, but they don't take interior offensive linemen. They pride themselves on not taking first-round pick offensive linemen because they're so good at development.
Yeah.
So this
sounds
is
like a
very
desperate bad
one.
pick to me. Desperate bad
if you're
pick.
a Vikings fan, you love it.
The Packers saw what the Vikings did, and they're like, oh, gosh. Oh, what are we going to do here?
We do have one guest in the YouTube Bentline room. We'll let's go
do
to
it, man.
Yeah, let's go to Tim here. Hey, what's up, Tim? You're on Bentline.
Tim. Look at the lion's mane on Tim. Let's
Yeah,
go,
that's
dude.
What's going on, guys? You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Right on. Well, I just want to say I listen to you guys every day. I appreciate the content always. I'm super stoked on the draft picks tonight. I mean, we gave up a little bit for Dallas Turner, but if he pans out, man, who cares? You know, at the end of the day, we're gonna have a stud defensive player right there. And I love the picks, love the content. Just want to say what's up. Thank you guys so much. Skol Vikes.
Yeah, dude, thank you for coming on here. Hey, real quick, Kevin Seifert is reporting here, and there's a part 2 that I'm waiting for him to tweet, but Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah was asked about the Justin Herbert report that the Vikings made a phone call. And Kwesi said, quote, "I wish I could tell you how much joy we get from seeing the stuff that gets written. Those aren't things that come out of this building. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Sometimes it works out in our favor. I can't even respond."
And the great part about that quote is he just confirmed that it was true. He just said it doesn't come from this building.
Yes.
So they did do it. So that's just I love those quotes.
So it's crazy, man.
Well,
Like,
there's more to be gleaned from that.
My bad.
What the thinking was, what the trade was. It is. That's one that didn't happen that I'm still very curious about, like what transpired to cause that.
So do you think their quarterback board or wish list, not counting Caleb Williams, was Drake Maye on a rookie scale contract for a bunch of picks, Justin Herbert even on a big contract for a bunch of picks because he would fit so perfectly into the Kevin O'Connell ecosystem.
Yep.
And he's not Kirk Cousins. I don't care. Like, well, he doesn't want a playoff game. He's 10 years younger. Watch those guys play the arm talent.
And he beat the Vikings here last year in a spectacular performance.
Yep. But I think JJ McCarthy was third. Not for the haul of picks that it would take to get a Herbert or a Drake Maye, but it sounds like they probably got their third guy on the wish list and kept the picks.
But like what was so the potential in a world where the Chargers could have traded Herbert or would have traded him, what did that look like? Was it Darisaw? I mean, because you would have to shed some salary.
Yeah.
And what was the plan then? Like it's so interesting. And look, I believe it's important to Justin Jefferson, who plays quarterback. I've never thought that he was actually going to force his way out based on that. He might not be happy with what they're offering financially. But, if you could find out what the thought process was if they had taken the Herbert contract, it would be so. I'd love to know. And if you trade Darisaw, what were you going to do at left tackle?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
A lot to unpack.
There's like a butterfly effect here that you'd love to see a couple different.
It certainly would look different than what we're going to see.
Yeah. Okay. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers pick is in at 26. And with the 26th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Duke offensive lineman Graham Barton. So another offensive line. What are we up to? Are we up to 8 offensive linemen yet? 7?
Good football
7?
player, left tackle at Duke, but a lot of people think he should play center in the NFL.
Oh, really?
He's got 32.5-inch arms, and he could play all 5 spots. So wherever you need him, just throw him in there.
So yeah, this is a legendary in terms of depth. 6 quarterbacks in the first round, and we're heading toward like 8, maybe 9 offensive linemen.
Offensive line. Tyler,
crazy, man.
How does a guy that's playing left tackle project as a potential pro center?
Just their play style, body composition, and especially that arm length is a really big deal. Remember Rashawn Slater a couple years ago?
Yeah, sure.
A lot of people thought he'd be an elite center because of his just tremendous movement skills. And I'll be honest, I graded him as a center. And I worried about him just as a left tackle because of his size.
Yeah.
And look, I give him all the credit in the world. He proved that he should be a left tackle, and he was great right away. But when you have somebody with that kind of movement skills and the ability to anchor at that size, because I think Slater's only 6'3", and relatively short arms.
Yep.
That's why consider those kind of moves inside.
Yeah.
Dalton Reisner was another guy that he played tackle, played interior. I think he moved all around. So I know like some guys you may play outside in college, maybe an easier transition to move inside in the pros.
Interesting.
So we're still what are we 6 or 7 picks away from the end of the first round here. Do we have any Ventline guests?
Yeah, we have a
queue
few.
right now. Okay, let's go back to Vikings Ventline here. Purple Daily YouTube channel live at the Fillmore.
Let's go to RJ next. What's up, RJ?
RJ.
First of all, Tyler, Miles, and Thor, cheers, brother. Thank you for all your hard work these past few months. I don't think it's said enough. Thank you for. I live in South Texas. In the meantime, I'm from Apple Valley originally, but you guys keep me connected leading up to the draft. Awesome work. Thank you. I come in with a little bit of insider news, which I know you guys have called for a little bit.
Okay.
A friend of mine from high school who is decent friends with several of the Vikings players on the offensive side of the ball told me today after the 10th pick that they were told days prior that JJ was the guy they were targeting.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a little bit easier. I was kind of fearful like Judd was that they were reaching for their guy, and if they waited, were they waiting because they wanted to or because they could? With that news, I'm a lot more up on JJ than I was prior to tonight. So I just want to interject it in there for any JJ skeptics. So
yeah, I love the insider information.
Way to do some
there.
reporting for us too.
We should name the cavalcade of report, the Purple Daily network of insiders. You know, the Purple Daily. There's like Purple Anonymous or something.
I like that.
It's a network of people sleuthing around.
That sounded good to me.
All right, who else we got here, Dex?
Yeah, let's go to, is it Chef Tommy?
Yep.
Tommy.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, dude.
Brother.
Cheers to you, man.
Yes.
I could not be more jazzed for the way tonight went. It literally blew me away. I was a little concerned when we were getting to 8 or 9.
Yep.
And then it all fell into place. I couldn't have expected one of the best defensive players to be on our team at the end of the night. What?
Yeah, dude. We were saying this earlier, man. And again, let's see how it plays out in 3 or 4 years. Always asterisk.
Oh,
but
of course.
if you would have asked Vikings fans 2 months ago in the process, hey, in the first, you only have 1 first-round pick right now. You're going to wind up with Dallas Turner and JJ McCarthy. How would you feel? I think most people would be ecstatic about that result, right?
A+. All I got to say, A+. Cheers, guys. Love the content. Keep it up.
Thank you, dude.
See ya.
We appreciate you, man.
Let's go to one more here. Let's go to John. What's up, John? How are you, man? John, you got to turn your camera back on, but we'll let you figure that part out. That's okay.
Johnny.
That's okay.
Johnny.
Wait, here he is. John. Now you just got to unmute yourself on the website, and you'll be there, my man.
Johnny's like me.
Hello. You just gotta unmute.
John. We can't hear you. You got to unmute yourself on the.
He's in mid-rant
He is.
now.
Okay, let's put John back in the queue. He said, I am super pumped.
Can anyone read lips?
Yeah.
I'm not a John Boy.
We need
I
John
can't do
Boy.
that. Yeah, I
John Boy
can't
breakdown.
read lips. I'm so bad at that.
Tighten it up.
My guys are savages.
Okay, we have another pick here. The Arizona Cardinals. Let's see here. With the 27th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, are taking pass rusher Darius Robinson from Mizzou.
Go Tigers.
I love Darius Robinson.
Oh.
You've liked some of these late picks.
Yeah, this draft is real nice between about 20 and 50. I'm not giving up JJ McCarthy to go back, but I wish we had some day 2 capital because there's some guys I really, really like. Robinson would be an elite 5 technique. Kind of think of what Cam Hayward was for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a guy who can set the edge. He can be a pass rusher. He had a 13% pass rush run rate at nose tackle 1 technique. But then as a wide 9, it was 19.8 at 6'5".
Oh, you get the wide
286.
9? Hold on. You said wide 9.
I mean, come on. He's also got 35.5-inch arms.
Oh, pythons. Pythons.
Just the nicest kid who you could just tell when talking to him, he absolutely loves playing football.
What's the last thing you said? He's the what kid?
He's the nicest kid.
Okay, I'm out on him.
The judge doesn't
I
like
want my
nice
football.
guys.
Oh, hold on. Hey, that doesn't mean he's not a dog on the field.
That's what I want. Okay, I want guys that chew glass for breakfast.
Tom Brady, very nice off the field.
Yeah,
a dog on the field.
Look at
Could be
Troy
both. Patrick Mahomes.
Polamalu.
That's a perfect example.
Psycho on the field. Softest, nicest human being off.
And soft hair, thanks to Head and Shoulders.
Yeah. Wow, and they're not
They're
even
ready to sponsor?
Yeah. No, they're not sponsored. That's a good idea.
Hey, can you guys give us a small handful of players that if the next pick for the Vikings is the 108, let's just, or maybe they get back late third, but late third, 4th round, some names that are of interest that come to the top of your minds.
They definitely need interior offensive line, interior defensive line, and cornerback. Those are and wide receiver.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of needs. For me, when you look at the offensive line, I think whether you go guard or center, a Hunter Norzad from Penn State. I know he's a guy I'm pretty high on in that 4th round range. Any of the Michigan guys still maybe you want to get a teammate of JJ McCarthy's, whether it's Trevor Keegan or Zach Zinter. I think Zach Zinter will go tomorrow, but those 2 interior offensive linemen for Michigan were pretty good. We talk about wide receiver. I think it'd be kind of cool to get Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's kid from USC.
Dude, there's some crazy bloodlines in this draft.
So many bloodlines.
You got Frank Gore's kid.
Yep.
You got Luke McCaffrey.
Luke McCaffrey, Jerry Rice. There's another one that's a big one too.
Tua's brother.
Tua's brother. Yeah. But you give me Brendan Rice as a wide receiver, Jacob Cowing, Arizona wide receiver.
Yes, please.
Nia Smith, some of those types of they're different styles of receiver, but I'm all about that. Mason Smith, the defensive lineman from LSU, is a guy that they I think they brought in on a visit too. So I think there's a lot of different opportunities they have, but I think those are the core ones that they should look at.
Yeah, Forno, what about you? Who are some names for Vikings fans to look for?
There are a lot of really interesting ones, and a lot of the guys I think who'd be available in round 4 could go in round 3 because, once you get past about, I'd say pick 60, there's a lot of ambiguity between what you would get at pick 60 and what you get at about pick 110 because there's going to be a lot of disagreements, and especially when you kind of look at Arif Hassan's consensus board, there's some wide disparities in that 4th, 5th, 6th round range and even into round 3 where some guys may be ranked at 80, other guys may have them ranked at 180. There's just a big disparity in some of these players. I really like the idea of Jacob Cowing. Obviously, Miles mentioned it. We talked about it on Purple Daily on Draft.
Yep.
I love Cooper Beebe and Mason McCormick and Christian Mahogany if you want to go interior offensive line. If Beebe goes at pick 34, I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be shocked to see him available at 108. McCormick, offensive lineman with a neck roll. Is there anything better than an offensive lineman with a neck roll?
Football.
Is this a statement or a medical neck roll?
It's a statement. I've heard nothing about medicals. With
Okay,
is it fashion or functional?
He's a South Dakota kid. That should tell you all you need to know.
Okay. The neck roll should be required, in my opinion.
I agree.
If,
I want a guy with a neck roll.
And a backboard.
I do like the idea
Brian
for the
Cox.
Vikings to take a wide receiver. I mentioned that on the Hot Take Station earlier. Jamari Thrash from Louisville is a guy I absolutely love. Malachi Corley, if he somehow makes it there. Jacob Cowing. Like, there's a lot of really good guys. I know Miles mentioned Brendan Rice. I don't think he's very good, and I think you take him just to get Jerry Rice in your building.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that's enough value for you, then I think it's fair.
The McCaffrey pick intrigues me.
I'm out on McCaffrey. I don't think he's a good separator. And he has to use way too much physicality to get it open.
Bloodlines, Forno.
Yeah,
dude.
Sure,
Forno.
but
football smarts, Forno.
What if you could just draw some blood from him and put it in other players? Is that possible?
Hey,
come on,
you know what?
Chandler,
That's
come here.
fine.
Football smarts, Forno.
Hey,
the McCaffreys are brilliant football players.
Cool, but is he going to be able to get open and separate at the NFL level? I have real concerns about that.
Boy, I don't know, man.
That's fair. No, that's a fair.
And the LSU defensive linemen are really intriguing.
Cornerback is another one I forgot to mention.
Yeah, Cam Hart, and I would give my kidney for Jarvis Brownlee Jr.
Wow.
That guy in the building.
Do you have a kidney?
I don't have an appendix anymore. I
That's
have
what
two
it is.
kidneys.
Okay.
Which organs have they taken out?
Listen, I've only had one organ explode. Just one.
Which organs are still on your big board?
I have
Big
40% of a thyroid and no appendix. The rest of me is intact.
I'm glad you
have a
didn't die,
spleen,
but
a
my
spleen.
appendix is gone too, Forno.
Yeah, remember that whole thing? Judd almost died and still covered a preseason game the next week.
Of course.
He got out of the
I didn't
hospital in
almost
like
die.
36 hours.
Forno almost died. I didn't almost die.
And you stood up for 3 weeks trying to get up out of your chair every time.
Hey, I still use my arms to get up out of a chair.
Yep.
It's just become a habit.
So with the next pick, if you could choose between cornerback and interior defensive line, which one do you think is more pressing?
Who's the better player? That's my question. I'm taking the better player. I don't care what the position is.
Okay, I have real quick on a totally separate note. Mike Garafolo from NFL.com
this is incredible. God, this is
has tracked down Kirk Cousins' agent, Mike McCartney, for a quote
Beautiful.
on the Falcons selecting Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall. I don't know if this is juicy or not. I have not read it, so I'll read it with you guys. Yes, it was a big surprise. We had no idea this was coming. The truth is the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard. It never came up in any conversation.
Well, it was reported like days ago. So,
but
I mean,
not like at the 8th pick though. I think that
it was at the 8th pick
that they would draft a quarterback.
Yeah, they would specifically take Penix.
But they still didn't.
Wow.
But they still didn't call the Cousins camp. I mean,
Right.
do you remember how these guys bent over backwards to never offend Kirk? There's only one question for me: has a welfare check been run on our old friend Joe Spinoza tonight?
Oh, that's
Who's friends with?
inside baseball for the late night crowd.
Joe Spinoza is the biggest Cousins.
If you're in the dark, deep corners of Vikings Twitter, then you know what Judd's talking about.
Joe got very upset when I said, "You're not a Vikings fan, you're a Kirk fan," and now he is completely.
We've reached the Joe Spinoza portion.
Dude, I am not
Daily
going to
Draft
give up
Party.
this Cousins storyline. This is one of the most interesting things in the whole draft. This is interesting.
The Bills and Chiefs just made a trade.
Yes, the Chiefs have traded up to the 28th pick.
And
the Bills have moved back to what?
This is
32,
Adonai Mitchell or Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
Yeah, this has got to be wide receiver territory for the Chiefs.
Yep,
there it
you
is.
go.
It is, but we'll do the official thing here. So, with the 28th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select wide receiver Xavier Worthy.
There's
So
either
there you
the
have it.
Chiefs or the Dolphins he was allowed to go to. So
Yeah, just rack them. The would have been fun for the Dolphins.
This is what the
for sure.
Chiefs. This is what the rest of the league did not need the Chiefs to get.
Yep. Yeah. I love Worthy. Like he's got some drop issues, but he had a broken hand in 2022, which
That'll help it. Yeah.
hindered that. He's not going to make as many catches outside of his frame as you'd like, which I think is where a lot of the drop stuff that the national media talks about. But he's got a lot of nuance to his route running, utilizes leverage really well. This is unfair. The Bills not only did the Bills give the Chiefs Patrick Mahomes, now they just gave Patrick Mahomes the fastest player to ever play in the NFL.
Yeah, are the Bills actually colluding with the Chiefs the last 5 years?
I don't know if he was as much of a fit in Buffalo though as he is in Kansas City.
Can I also say if you're a
No, I'm
gamer
just
and
talking in
you wanna gut out an injury, if your wide receiver has a broken hand, you just kind of say, "Why don't you go fix that, dude?"
Why don't you sit out?
Yeah, why don't you sit that?
No.
Why don't you sit the next few plays out? Okay.
I will say about Worthy though is what I loved his development. He went from like a guy that just was speed to a guy that went from being a really good route runner and being able to catch away from his body a little bit better. So you saw the control and you saw the development that he didn't have early in his career when he was just a speed guy. So we'll see what he does in Kansas City because we've seen them draft a couple speed guys and not really work out. But we'll see if he can, like McCole Hardman and Sky Moore, a couple guys that they went after. But we'll see what he can do in Kansas City.
Before we go back to the vent lines here, again, just a major thank you to Crybaby Craig's, Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply, Popped Corn, Fulton Brewing, Element Hotel, and Nicolay Law as well for we wouldn't be able to do this stuff and blab like idiots about the Vikings on microphones every day if it wasn't for our partners here on Purple Daily. So thanks to all of them for putting on an amazing draft party here. Dex, thank you. And by the way, like for you guys who are still here right now, thank you too.
Yeah.
I can't tell if you guys are all insane or just really want to see who the Buffalo Bills take with the 32nd pick.
They're
legends.
Before we get to Ventline, by the way, when you drive home tonight, you might be seeing a couple billboards that say JJ to JJ on your ride home. That is officially
Are those out there tonight?
Those are out there right now. I just got word
That's
that
really
those
cool.
are indeed out there
Very
right now.
nice.
So
Let's
you
go.
will see those. A few Ventline guests here. Let's start off with Matt. What's up, Matt? You're on Ventline.
Hey,
buddy.
Matt.
What up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
I don't know what was more electric, the energy in the Fillmore or the fact that the Falcons took Michael Penix at 8. That was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that Judd wasn't up there waving the flag at that pick. That's uncanny for Kirk.
We were all
You're
just
not
like
wrong.
shell-shocked. We're like, wait, what is this? Are we getting hacked right now? We got our Twitter feeds here.
There's
Crazy, man.
no reason for that, but it's fantastic to know the Falcons are absolutely gunning for Kirk's ego before the season has started.
And there's no, and to your point, there's no way that Kirk signs there. No way, no matter what they would have paid him if he had known this.
It's
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, there's no way.
He would have come back here. And the Vikings wouldn't have drafted JJ McCarthy.
Remember what Kirk said. It's not about the dollars. It's about what they represent.
Oh, and they just crapped all over him tonight.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Penix looked just as shocked on his couch getting that call from the Falcons. I'll have
He's like, what? Huh?
It's amazing, man.
So there's a lot of big brains on the stage, and so I'm curious to think what is going to be happening since we've traded a lot of the late round picks away. Where are we going next? You know, a lot of discussion has happened, but you know where are we going now for the rest of the draft this year? We don't really have a lot kind of towards the end, so where are we going?
Yeah, I mean, these guys did a great job kind of laying out some of the specific names to keep an eye on. But, yeah, cornerback remains a need. I think wide receiver 3 is still a major need right now. It's funny because the Vikings have one of the best 1-2 punches at wide receiver. But then it's like Brandon Powell.
Yeah, interior defensive line, interior offensive line. I mean, there's definitely still some needs. But it is interesting if you think about this. Also, not the Vikings can't make the playoffs next season, and I did predict that they would. But look at how, as Miles mentioned, this sets up for 2025.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to hit next year. You might not have a ton of draft picks, but you have your first round pick, and more importantly, to your point, you've got a ton of cash.
Yeah.
You got a lot of
It's going to be
cash
fun.
to work
Yeah.
with.
Can they – that's the thing. Like, they clearly didn't – I think their biggest need besides quarterback – I'm going to get really football-y here for a minute – is they had by far the worst interior pass rush win rate in the league last year. And, you know, there might schematically, if you've got you've got some guys who can rush the passer and you can maybe scheme up some interior stuff. But like at some point they need a guy that can do it. And maybe free agency is where they do that. And I haven't looked at the interior free agents for next year. By the way, Dallas Turner told the media, what did the Vikings tell you in terms of how they're going to use you? And he said, quote, they told me to be ready to rush the passer when I get off the plane.
Yep. I would actually say, you know what? Once you get to cruising altitude, 35,000 feet,
right,
up and down take the seatbelt off, and just start rushing people.
Let's see here. We have I thought there was another pick in. We're still waiting. Oh no, it is. The pick is in here at 29. Where the Dallas Cowboys, with the 29th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, select Oklahoma offensive tackle Tyler Guyton. Another offensive lineman, gentlemen. Crazy.
There was a lot of reports going into the draft that tonight we're going to see a lot of offensive tackles, especially late in the first round.
Yeah.
So this shouldn't be a surprise.
Yep, this is just an unprecedented amount of beef, meat, potatoes. Declan, who is next on Vikings Vent Line here on the YouTube channel?
We got a couple in the room. Let's go to Ben next. Ben, what's actually, we're going to put Ben in timeout. I think is
was that Ben or his dog that had the?
I think it was. I think it was the dog, but you never know. In the meantime, let's go to Octavio. What's up, Octavio?
What's up, fellas? You guys got me?
Yep.
Cool. I just wanted to say, man, let's just say the experts don't know nothing. That was crazy. Like nobody. Penix at 8. What the heck? It's still crazy to me. And actually, Diana Rossini came out with a tweet saying that Kirk had no idea. Kirk said that he knew that they would consider it, but apparently he had no idea. It's the most expensive smokescreen in the NFL history. But hey, JJ, Dallas, it's a beautiful draft. Let's go. This is gonna be a great time to be a Vikings fan. Quasi, I think it went exactly as planned. If not, if anything, a little better. Who thought Dallas Turner 17th? I thought he was gonna be top 15 for sure. No way. So we'll see. It's it's a great time to be a Vikings fan right now. It's awesome. Let's go. All the way from California. Let's go.
Love it, dude. Love it, man. Coast to coast, man. The Purple Daily audience is just what a night, man.
Most exciting time to be a Vikings fan since when? And I'm not talking about in the midst of like a playoff race. I'm talking about just sitting here.
Well, how about just
in the
for what in terms of excitement out of a draft?
Oh, this is
2013 when the Vikings ended up with 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2012 was a special year with Adrian Peterson. You felt, okay, we got 3 of our 4 biggest needs, and now we can just get off running. And they won, 3 games?
But when's the last time that you were this hopeful? Like you saw a chapter being turned, and you're like, this isn't a rebuild. This is like you're in progress of like, I'm trying to think. It had to be Zimmer at some point in time.
That's the thing. Like a lot of the teams that draft quarterbacks in the top 10, case in point, Panthers last year, the organizations are dysfunctional. The rosters are completely broken. The quarterback comes in first, and then they look around like, okay, who am I throwing to? Yeah, we'll figure that out later, right? JJ McCarthy comes into a fully furnished home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He comes in with weapons. He comes in with a coach.
Yep.
He comes in with Josh McCown as a quarterback's coach.
Yep.
And by the way, a defense that I'm not saying they're going to be a top 5 defense, but that might be fun to take that step. But you don't have to score 30 points every game to win with this defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it is again, Drake Maye walks into an empty, large square footage home and now has to figure out, okay, where's my couch? How are we going to get that? Do we have cars? Is there a garage?
It's been, part of the thing is it's been so long since this team, and I mean, it might go back forever, since this team felt like it had a quarterback who was, this is a top 10. This is a kid drafted in the top 10. This is a guy that was one of the primary focuses. And I think to have that and to have a coach that wants him, it was an immediate killjoy with Kirk, and this was not Kirk's fault, that his coach clearly didn't want him. Mm-hmm. Like you can't have a coach get up to the combine and imply, hey, we're talking to Kirk Cousins, and I don't want him. And it was always like, they were butting heads before Kirk Cousins signed on the dotted line.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ben now here on Vent Line. Ben, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Yeah, sorry, I was giving my dog a couple hugs before that, but
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I'm ecstatic right now. I was originally hoping for Drake Maye on pick number 3, but then after that, I was texting my girlfriend and I was saying, JJ McCarthy is the last chance for me to be happy for the draft, and hey, it happened. It happened. So I'm ecstatic. I think the Vikings 2025 are going to be a team to contend with, and man, I can't be more happier right now.
Yeah, dude. Love it, Ben. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. I think he echoes the. Do we have any more here? We could.
We're good. Here. We're good on Vent Line, but I do have a clip. This is safe to play. It's from the Vikings Twitter of JJ being pumped up and doing a skull chant. I think even like on his selfie, like on a phone. Should we play it?
Let's play it.
Let's play it.
Hey guys, JJ McCarthy here. So fired up to be a Viking. You have no idea. Can't wait to see you guys. Can't wait to meet you. And you know what it is. Let's go Vikings. Come on. Let's go.
I mean, dude, he has more natural charisma than any quarterback I can remember. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater had a lot too.
Yeah.
Not like fake corporate quarterback charisma. I mean, like just it feels like the guy is just joyful about football and life when you watch him at Michigan.
Because he's a hockey player.
Yeah.
Because he's a hockey player. He loves life. He's gritty.
Is he bow-legged too, or?
Oh, yeah, he probably is.
With the 30th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select cornerback from Clemson, Nate Wiggins. At one point, Nate Wiggins was a little higher, I feel like. In
Such a Baltimore pick.
Draft
Such
process.
a Baltimore
So
pick.
a good pick?
I like it. Nate Wiggins ran a 4.29 40. He's a physical press man corner, but he also weighs like as much as Declan.
Nice.
So that's never a good sign for an NFL player.
You mean
But
almost nothing?
He it's like 176 pounds, but he doesn't really get impacted by the weight nearly as much as you might think. So I'm not super concerned about it.
Okay.
I like the pick.
Okay. So we have 2 picks left here in the first round, which means we're coming to the end of our 3rd annual Purple Daily Draft Party at the Fillmore.
Ben Gessling tweets, this is just the 4th time in the Super Bowl era the Vikings have taken at least 2 players in the top 20 of a draft.
Oh, God.
2005.
Oh, no. Okay, stop reading.
2005. Wait. No, 94 was not a disaster. Dwayne Washington and Todd Stussy. Todd was a very
That was a good play.
Washington was good, too.
Holding number
1967, Clint Jones, Gene Washington, Alan Page.
Okay.
1967, Gene
Some
Washington.
legends, some legends.
Gene Washington's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
So that's good. So
and then 2025 will just kind of.
So 2005 doesn't work out, but 94 did, and Tyler's right. Dwayne Washington was a nice player.
Yeah.
And 67 definitely worked out. So, hey, I'd rather take my swings like this than I would. Yeah. And part of the problem with 05 is you got that 7 pick. I won't even mention the name of the player take, and you got that in the Randy Moss trade. Like that was sort of started off on the wrong foot when Moss left.
Yeah.
As opposed to this, which is very much what the Vikings controlled.
Sorry, I might be behind on our text thread of information here.
Kind of a long.
Should I read this?
I think it's safe to read.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So Kwesi, this is from Kwesi's press conference. I do my personal Zooms with all those guys. By the way, this for the context here. Ben Gessling tweeted out, interesting anecdote from Kwesi on his Zoom call with JJ McCarthy before the draft. He said, I do my personal Zooms with all those guys. I talked to him the day that they all got their rings. He wears all his rings from high school and college 1 day a year, and he only had his thumbs free. But as we were talking, he said, is there a reason why you wouldn't draft me, he said. And I said, honestly, from a talent standpoint, no. You're just a bit of an unknown because you played in an offense that's pretty run-heavy and different things like that. So there's some guesswork. But from what we've seen, we think you can do anything. So like I said, we're just really excited about the skill set. There's a level of projection with all these guys coming into the league and different things like that. But, once you get around the person, a lot of guesswork goes away. So it's kind of interesting that JJ McCarthy said to Kwesi, is there any reason why you wouldn't draft me?
Good for him.
I don't think he's saying it from like an insecure standpoint.
No,
I think
he's saying from probably a cocky standpoint of I've won everywhere I've gone. So was he wearing all his rings when he was talking to Kwesi?
No,
or
that's not what he's doing.
Or
Chad.
was he just saying, hey, is there any reason why you wouldn't draft me?
Clinking on the table.
I've got my thumbs free.
It's hilarious. Before we get to the last 2 picks here, just the night as a whole here, from the Vikings drafting their quarterback of the future, keeping their second first-round pick, even just the atmosphere here among Vikings fans at the Fillmore. Your main takeaways, Judd?
Oh, it was fantastic. It's interesting that this is now our 3rd Purple Daily Draft Party, and if you think about it, for us, each time has improved as far as the event goes. And I'll say this, each time the draft is approved for Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi as well.
That's right.
You go from trading back to 30. I mean,
they traded back 2 hours 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it sold a lot more beer at the place that we were at the time. But if you think about it, that pick busted. But I mean, that was not exactly nearly as much fun. Last year, they stayed put and got a pretty damn good player. I think, in retrospect, we're all pleased with Jordan Addison. And now this to me, and they passed the test. They got a quarterback. This is a quarterback. I think no one's going to come away complaining or being afraid or saying that this was a Spielman type reach. I think you got to feel really good. If you're a Viking fan, getting a defensive talent's awesome, and that helps. But if we just left this draft with JJ McCarthy is going to be your quarterback, I think you're feeling pretty damn good about the future of the franchise.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I mean, in 2021 we were. This just shows how far the show has come, and also like how exciting it is for this draft. I feel like the most exciting thing about that whole draft was the Vikings traded up to go get Kellen Mond.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of our that
was one of our like most watched and listened to episodes for a while too.
Yeah.
Like, Kellen Mond.
So just to watch what they've been able to do, and and I mean this has been super surreal. I mean, I'll speak for all three of us here to a degree, but like this was insane. I mean, we walked in here about 3 hours before really the gates or the doors opened, and it felt like, I don't know, and I'm not trying to be like cocky or toot our own horn. It felt like we were in a band. Like we were in a green,
that way.
We were in a green room. We're getting briefed on what's going to happen. We're getting briefed where we're sitting, and here's what's going to happen. Here's where the lights. Here's where the fans are. Here's what this is going to happen. I mean, it kind of felt like being a rock star tonight. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the coolest nights I can remember following this team. I think like from a fan standpoint, you finally for the first time in franchise history take a shot at a quarterback in the top 10. It's a perfect situation for JJ McCarthy. So just from a team standpoint, they continue to build and they continue to really lean into Kevin O'Connell and his strengths.
Yep.
From a Purple Daily standpoint, just seeing this community and the fans of the team and the show out like this at the Fillmore. I mean, hell, like literally right now, there's still over 5,000 people just watching on YouTube right now too, which is amazing, and we appreciate you guys. Yeah, this is definitely one of the most fun nights I've ever had following this football team.
And how do you
thanks to all of you guys.
How do you not get excited looking at these two dudes on your YouTube screen
Look at
right
the
now?
jaw lines on your YouTube screen.
Those are two quarterbacks right there.
Yeah.
Is that not clear?
Just a couple
Look
of
at Ziggy.
quarterback guys with
Ziggy and
chiseled
Mark.
jaw lines. Yes.
Oh, Ziggy's going to be so happy tonight. But yeah, those are two quarterbacks right there.
That's hilarious, man. Purple Daily on draft, guys, real quick. Any thoughts from Tyler and Miles before we wrap this thing here in a few minutes from you guys? Just big picture, the entire night. Any final thoughts from you guys?
We talked about when I had my appendix blow 5 years ago, and I had Mike Florio send Paul Allen to my hospital room as a 29-year-old, which I just thought was the most absurd thing in the world. Like, do that for a kid. I'm an adult. But I've always wanted to be in media, and that just kind of told me, like, you know what, just go do it. And to see how many people were here and how many people came up to me and said, hey, I really appreciate you and your content, and I watch you and listen to you all the time. It's really humbling, and I'm just so grateful to be here and be doing this. And even though I have some off-the-wall takes and I'm not right as much as I'd like to be, I'm just so honored to be able to do this, and that people really enjoy what I provide with my content here and everywhere else. And I'm very humbled tonight.
And hey, throw your YouTube channel out for people if they haven't subscribed yet.
Vikings First and Skol. We're going to be live all throughout day 2 and day 3 of the draft. Have some guests, maybe have these guys on. They want to pop on over and have some short-term, long-term Vikings conversations from every single angle. And I will probably pound my desk about Malachi Corley and Jarvis Brownlee Jr. some more if you want some of that.
Let's go, dude.
Why not?
Miles Gorham, some final thoughts from you over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited and happy to be here. This is a great night. Like, this has probably like exceeded my expectations, but I'm just appreciative of being here and all the work that everybody here does and that put into this event, and just the fans that came out too. This was really fun, and just getting to interact with people and you guys, it was a lot of fun. And then to see the Vikings kind of play things out as they did tonight was probably the cherry on top. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody here, and this is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Amen, you guys. The 31st pick is in. And the 49ers are taking Florida wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. And the Bills have traded out of the first round altogether.
Who'd they trade with?
To the Vikings?
Will that be something?
That's why we stayed on.
Man.
Can you imagine?
That's a good point.
Let's see here. It says they traded back. We're waiting to see who they
hilarious.
traded back with.
Be great if
Pearsall over Ladd McConkey and Adonai Mitchell.
This is a weird one because
I don't like it.
Are they going to then trade Ayuk?
You got to trade one of those guys, right?
Well, they needed a wide receiver 3 anyways, but still.
Yeah.
I
thought that was a little bit of an overreach for Pearsall. I think he's good, but I wasn't a first round. I didn't have him as a first round guy.
So we'll. By the way, the Panthers are coming up one pick to get. I don't know, probably the 5th-year option on somebody
AD
with
Mitchell,
32.
maybe.
So we'll see who
Yeah,
the last pick in the first
Ladd.
round is. But just to also there's so many people. You see us on stage here on the YouTube feed of this, and then the people that were here all throughout the night. We literally had I think 1,400 people were here in attendance at the Fillmore tonight. The thousands, tens of thousands, really, that were watching on YouTube, which is just incredible. So thank you to the audience. Thank you to Vikings fans, the Purple Daily audience, for making this inexplicably one of the biggest football podcasts in America. And then our staff, man, like Pat, Adam, Tim, and the crew organizing the audio and video production all throughout the night. They were here hours beforehand, setting everything up. You can see them back here waving their flags.
Yeah. You guys are awesome.
AJ and Artis on social media, Ross managing logistics, Jason as well managing logistics and helping out with Jesse and Ventline. Katie on graphics too has just been incredible the last couple months. Our partnerships team, Bernie, Matt, Rob, Chris, and Mark, and then the Fillmore and everyone working behind the bars at the restaurant here. This has just been a top-notch operation all around here. So yeah, man, it'd be fun to come back here again and
God, yeah.
Do it up.
It's super impressive, too.
Got to say, I met a lot of these people for the first time tonight. What an excellent group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yep, it's been
talented.
Up and down. And I've never been to a concert here, but I plan to probably go to the first one that I can.
Nice.
Just to experience
It's a great
again.
room, yeah.
So we're just waiting. We stayed true to our word here. We are going to give you all 32 picks, and we're just waiting for the Carolina Panthers, the garbage organization of the National Football League.
Yeah, to get some help for poor Bryce Young.
Yep. Maybe they'll fire everyone again after.
They've replaced the Commanders as the complete "what are you doing" franchise.
I need more at some point from Kirk's agent too. I keep seeing little nuggets floated out. That camp is irate.
I
want to
hear
it's
Kirk.
hilarious.
I want to hear Kirk try and explain this away publicly.
Oh man, when's the next time he would speak to reporters?
Probably
off-season workouts.
Probably, yeah.
OTAs.
Yeah, because he ain't going to hold out.
You know, I heard from a local, what's the words I'm looking for? Thread store, if you will, that he was going to be back in town in June to get a custom Falcons jersey made here.
You should check to see if that's still going to be made, or perhaps tonight he put the kibosh on
because he still holds a football camp here in the summer, and we'll see if that's still happening.
And here we go, the last pick in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft, where the Carolina Panthers select South Carolina wide receiver Xavier Legette. And with that, the first round has come to a close.
Legette publicly jumped the gun and just said, "They're taking me on social media."
It's me. The first round's over.
Get done. Go.
It's over.
Everyone go home.
He had said the other day they told him they were going to take him at 33. So
And then Dave Canales said that, I told 50 other players that too.
and now they
Well, it looks like he beat Carolina to the punch to announce his own selection.
Yeah.
Interesting player. Was a quarterback for 3 years in South Carolina and really blew up this past year after Juice Wells got hurt, and put up incredible efficiency and explosive numbers when everybody was keying in on him. He's got a lot to learn, and he's already at this level. I had a third-round grade on him because I'm not sure he's going to get there, but there's a lot to like. Kind of built like A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf.
Oh, okay.
And now Carolina took him, so he's probably going to be ruined.
Yeah. So he's screwed. So he's not gonna play in the NFL much longer.
I like Dave Canales a lot, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's a wrap. So programming note, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, Feedback Friday with our friend Thor Nystrom. He's going to join and help us recap night one here. And then we'll be hanging out at 3 Jack in Minneapolis for a little happy hour, Purple Daily Day 2 happy hour.
Heck yeah.
From 3 to 5 o'clock. That's in the North Loop, Minneapolis. We do ask that you register at scorenorth.com/happy hour if you plan on showing up and talking some JJ McCarthy. It's a free cover, but we just want to know a head count so we don't overpack the place. And 6 o'clock tomorrow night, even if they don't have a pick, Judd and I will jump on and we'll hang out with you guys, and we can at least talk about the first round and the future of the Vikings and maybe what they're going to do on day 3. But we will have the second live stream. So 10 a.m. tomorrow on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, 6 p.m., and then the happy hour at 3 Jack in Minneapolis. Thank you again to everyone behind the scenes, the audience, and to the Vikings for always being interesting.
Well,
drafting their quarterback.
Yeah, thank you to the Vikings for delivering tonight. Like, this could have been a big disappointment or a home run, and I think it was way more of a home run.
Yeah. So that's a wrap here on the 3rd annual Purple Daily Draft Party. Daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.